Hello, everyone, and welcome to Side Quest, the weekly one-shot series here on Welcome to the Party, where we play a different one-shot every week. Tonight, we are going to be playing Lady Blackbird by... I forgot to look up who it's by. I'm sorry.
John Harper.
John Harper. Thank you very much, our wonderful GM, Sarah. But before we get underway, I'm afraid that I must remind you that capitalism waits for no one. We have sponsors, and I have notes that I immediately minimize like a doopy-doop. Yes, sponsors. Sponsors such as Rue Inc. Devin Rue, the mistress of maps, makes all kinds of wonderful fantasy maps over at rueinc.com. Go check them out. Similarly, if you are looking for some dice, you can pick those up at tabletoploot.com. And whoa, you can use promo code WTTPDice to get 15% off your next purchase. Thirdly, but not leastly, I've got another one after that. That joke didn't work. Moving on, sonerdware.com, where you can go and buy fine Welcome to the Party merch. It's the official merch store for Welcome to the Party. Use promo code WELCOME, how appropriate, to get 10% off your next purchase from So Nerdware. It's what the nerds wear. And finally, as always, we are brought to you by the lovely folks over at Roll20.net. Head over to roll20.net/start/WTTP to get started with your free account. And then you can socially distance yourself. Like, you can't take these things to your friend's house. These are, like, riddled with COVID. It's awful. You need to be using Roll20. What you could also be doing, if you don't want to spend money at a store, is spend money over at the Welcome to the Party Patreon. Which is now over here. And also down there, it's a little link, you can click it and send money that way. And finally, if you just don't want to spend any money at all and you're tired of all that horse crap, head over to the Welcome to the Party Discord, hang out with these lovely folks here, and maybe even get yourself featured on an episode of Side Quests, because signups are open and it's kind of a community show that anybody could be on. So, yeah, come check it out. And with that, I'm going to shut the hell up and hand this over to our wonderful GM for the evening, Sarah. Sarah, please.
Hello, everybody. Thank you, Fox. That was wonderful. Appreciate that. So welcome to Side Quest, everybody. We are playing Lady Blackbird tonight, a game by John Harper, the dude who wrote Blades in the Dark. And it is a steampunk swashbuckling piratey adventure in the skies. And it comes with some pre-generated character sheets. Each of these lovely 5 people is playing a specific character in this game. So I'd like to, before we get started, everybody to kind of go around, say who you are, who you're playing, brief description, etc. of your character, and then we will jump in. So we'll go clockwise from me, because I'm very conveniently at 12 o'clock on this, and start with Simon.
Hello, everybody. My name is Simon, and I'm on Twitter at Lucha Libris. Today, I will be playing Naomi Bishop. She is a former pit fighter and bodyguard to Lady Blackbird. I think she is probably pretty athletic and well-built. Take no prisoners, take no guff from nobody. Pretty tall, dark skin, graying hair, probably. She's seen some stuff, a couple scars, and armed to the teeth.
Excellent. Ulfrig.
Hello, I go by Ulfrig online, and I will be playing Snargle, who is a goblin sky pilot and sky sailor and pilot of the Owl. And they are small and green and adorable and will absolutely stab you for candy.
Huh.
Yes. Love it. Jackie, Death by Mage.
Hi, everybody. I'm Jackie, better known as Death by Mage, and tonight I will be playing Cal Arkham, a burglar and petty sorcerer.
I'm getting the goddamn... I'm getting him.
No, don't do it.
Getting that nutcracker. If this...
No,
Jackie.
That's worse than I thought it could be. Oh,
I support you in everything you do.
I do too. It's great, but also terrible.
And we'll see we'll just see how petty Kale will be in this adventure. He's also the first man in the mechanic.
And then Kate.
Hi, I'm Kate. I go by. Thank you. I told you my cat was going to do that. I go by Mia Midair on the internet, and I'm playing Cyrus Vance, ex-soldier turned smuggler and soldier of fortune, the captain of the Owl. She is about 5'5", short, spiky hair. She's stocky built and weathered skin, a little bit older, probably early 30s, and what she lacks for in height, she makes up for in personality and spirit.
Beautiful. And finally, Fox.
Hey folks, I'm Fox Barrett. Today I will be playing the eponymous Lady Blackbird, aka Natasha Siri, I believe. What does Lady Blackbird look like? I probably should have figured that out. She's not especially short. In fact, let's say that she's 5'8". She's 5'8". She's a little heavier set, as befits someone who is royalty, or at least nobility, I should say. She's got kind of a brown. She's got a tan skin that's got kind of like an olive undertone to it. She's got very light silvery hair, almost shock white hair, and we'll say just very bright blue eyes, and it doesn't seem especially athletic or outgoing. She seems a bit more idle than that, and at present her hair, I think, which normally reaches down to her butt, is stuffed up into a hat because, as I recall, she is currently traveling in disguise.
Mm-hmm. Yep.
So she is currently dressed well below her station. Just a very simple jacket and some traveling trousers and boots.
Excellent. Good deal. So, we open. Lady Blackbird is on the run from an arranged marriage to Count Carlo. She hired a smuggler skyship known as the Owl to take her from her palace on the imperial world of Elysium to the far reaches of the Remnant so she could be with her once secret lover, the Pirate King, Uriah Flint. However, just before reaching the halfway point of the planet of Haven, the Owl was pursued and captured by the imperial cruiser the Hand of Sorrow under charges of flying a false flag. Even now, Lady Blackbird, her bodyguard, and the crew of the Owl are detained in the brig, while the commander of the cruiser, Captain Hollis, runs the smuggler ship's registry over the wireless. It's only a matter of time before they discover the outstanding warrants and learn that the Owl is owned by none other than the infamous outcast, Cyrus Vance. How will Lady Blackbird and the others escape the Hand of Sorrow, and what dangers lie in their path? Quick geography note. The Lady Blackbird is set in the wild blue. It's kind of space, kind of not. Handful of planets in the solar system that has breathable air. You can get 6 weeks one side or the other. It's not very big. And so that's that for viewers who don't have the map. But the 5 of you are in the brig of the Hand of Sorrow. The Hand of Sorrow is 10 times bigger than the Owl. It is an imperial cruiser fitted with guns and armory and soldiers, and you are stuck in the very, very bottom of the ship. The brig is not designed to be broken out of. Of course, you are pirates, so I'm sure you can find a way to do that. You're in a cell, all 5 of you together. Iron bars kind of crisscrossed, locking you in. You hear and kind of feel the vibrations of engines of skyships and propellers just kind of keeping the Hand of Sorrow afloat. And you've been in here for about an hour. And you know that they're probably running all of your credentials through all of their databases. Wireless connection's a little patchy out here, so you might have a little more time than otherwise. But at some point, they are going to find out, at the very least, what the Owl really is and who owns it, maybe actually who's on it. So, what would the 5 of you like to do?
Is there any guard outside our cell?
Mm-hmm. There's a couple of guards. They look kind of bored, occasionally looking over at you, sitting in a couple of chairs. They're not, fully at attention, but there are across the whole hallway that spans that, probably about 5 guards.
I'd like to go up to the bars of the cell then and just kind of like rap on them gently to like, excuse me. Hi, excuse me. Hello.
Yes.
Yeah.
One of them looks over at you, like puts down his cards, looks over at you.
Yeah, so listen, I do want to thank you for dealing with these ne'er-do-wells, but I'm afraid there's been a bit of a mistake here. See, I should be on the other side of these bars with you, actually, rather than in here with them. No, I'm not actually like one of their crew. And I know this is all a terrible misunderstanding. I was simply...
It's always a misunderstanding.
Yes.
Yeah,
See, I was press ganged. You have to understand into service on their ship here under false pretenses, and I really should be. This is all a terrible. I mean, thank you for your service, the wonderful, glorious service of the Empire and what it does for.
Idiot.
Has the guard come up close to the bars at all?
The guard was playing cards with another one and has just put the cards down and looked over. He's not at the bars.
Dang. Okay.
Is turned toward you though, so.
I'm sure if you just if we could just have a word in private, I could get this whole matter cleared up.
You know, you did sign the waiver.
Yes, well, I signed that waiver under duress. Now, if these nice people here would just be...
There are lots of things under that duress.
If I remember correctly, it was with tea and cookies.
You see, this is exactly what I'm talking about. So, like, obviously, I'm not supposed to be here. So, like, I just...
What is Naomi doing?
She's been leaned up against the wall. Naomi looks like Gina Carano.
Oh, I love it.
Yes.
Yeah.
Totally
so, but like steampunk Gina Carano.
Yeah.
So she's like the thick arms, like
Digging
she's
it.
posted up, like watching everything happen. She knows this is what Natasha does, right?
Yeah.
Like she's a
Yeah.
chatterbox. She's like, okay, like, in her mind, this goes one of two ways. It works, and then she punches her way out, or it doesn't work, and she punches
her way out.
It's like, listen, we're gonna do it my way eventually.
Yeah.
I want to give you a chance. So she's like looking at everyone, like looking down at Snargle, like, get this, whatever.
I think Cyrus would come and just lean next to her, but not too close.
Yeah.
Does this normally work?
No.
No. I mean, 50-50 shot. There's a chance that she gets one over on the other guy, but I think more often than not, we end up having to put a little muscle towards the situation.
So, looking around, do you see any weaknesses? You seem a competent sort.
It's flattering coming from cocksure sky bandit. Well, the way I see it, there's one way out, and she gestures at the door.
Where Natasha's just going, no, like, you have to understand, like, I have a lot of legal paperwork. Like, I'm actually a legal professional myself. You have to understand that you really can't hold me for. Let me cut back to whatever they're doing.
I just want to look around. Is there any other place on this that looks like it's a way out?
The iron bars look pretty sturdy for most people. Naomi might be able to ram it or otherwise jack it out. Probably might have a decent shot at that, but otherwise, no, it's like the iron bars and then wall and edge of ship. I mean,
How far apart are those iron bars?
About 6 to 8 inches of a square.
Okay, so not super far apart. And then above us, is there
Square.
anything?
There's a hanging light, a couple of those. One of them is a flickering light bulb, kind of annoyingly, and then a wood ceiling.
The ceiling is wood, though. That's something, at least.
That's something.
I'm just gonna look up and try to get Naomi to look up. How far up is the ceiling?
7, 8 feet. It's not super far up.
Okay.
You know, my father's a very powerful man, and the conversation continues.
Yeah.
You see behind you, as the guard is paying attention to you, you see his buddy like look at his cards and then wipe a few out.
Yeah.
Hey, Kale.
Yes, Captain.
So gross every time.
It's good. I love it. I'll be in every game, Jackie.
You know that game of chess we like to play.
Yes, Captain.
You know how you like to think that iron is better than wood, and I disagree.
Yes, Captain.
Thoughts?
Well, in this case, that might work. That might work. Also, I can't help but notice all the coin that's on that table.
A decent amount of coin that these guys have been gambling with. There was a lot on the table when you were brought in here, and there's only more that have showed up.
Those would help with the repairs, Captain.
I think Cyrus would lean in, just gonna lean in. She goes, yes, but only if we get out.
Yes, well, if our special guest were to get both their attention, it might help.
Hey, that guy's stealing your cards, by the way. I just figured for your game, you may want to know about that.
Takes a deep breath,
well.
like, Joseph, we have talked about this.
Joseph, you seem a much more reasonable sort. Joseph, if you would just please, if I could talk to you for just a moment, because your friend here is being completely out of line. I just need to... And I continue to prattle on towards Joseph.
Joseph, realizing that he has been well and truly caught with his cheating scam, puts the cards down, like, and realizing from his buddy that that's not going to fly, just gets up and walks over to you to see what all this fuss is about.
Now, as you can see, these terrible people in here, they're just, like, kind of give a thumbs up to, like, I turn around as I'm gesturing and go, so awful. And then...
So Kale's going to walk up, kind of try to be a little sneaky, and also he's going to try and see if he can pilfer the keys off of the guards.
Okay. You see them. It's keys on the belt kind of thing within reach. I am gonna have you roll for that.
Right. Okay. So I guess it's like let's see. I guess the trait is going to be probably burgle.
One would think.
One would think. And I'll probably go with I guess we'll try to do quiet or dexterous, actually, so we can get it out. So we'll do dexterous, so it's
you can add multiple tags if you want.
Oh, okay. So I'll do quiet and dexterous.
Okay.
And
so
yeah, we'll do
4 dice
quiet
total.
Yeah, so we'll do 4 dice.
Okay.
I'll keep my dice. I'll keep my pool for right now.
Okay.
So
while he's doing that, I think Naomi like flanks the other side of the door and like pretends to be posting up and like digging around in her jacket for a cigarette or something.
All right, 2 successes.
Okay.
Nice.
The guard kind of like, you managed to get the keys, but something about the angle of the way that your hand has to go, the guard notices as you grab the keys and yank them out. Hey, what are you doing in there?
Oh, I'm sorry. I'm just stretching. I used to be a circus performer.
What act were you?
I was in the death trap with the swords.
How does that one work?
Not comfortably.
It's not. It works very well. That's why it works.
He like trying to put his hand through the bars to be like,
yeah,
hey, that out.
Can I have give me my keys back? And he reaches through and tries to grab them.
Well, perhaps you could come in here and come get them.
Naomi reaches out and grabs the arm and bends it back.
I love it. Yeah.
Yeah, I used to be a strong woman.
Bunch of circus performers, all of you.
Yep, trapeze.
Not really. I just thought it sounded cool.
It did. Ow.
Kale, if you would be so kind as to open the door, please.
Yes.
Joseph, I swear to God, I won't yell at you for cheating. Help! And Joseph is just like, no, I'm just gonna take all this, and literally is starting to pocket the money as this is happening.
Good decision, Joseph. You're going to go far in
Mhm.
this world.
I don't. I'm not seeing any of this. Just turns.
Yeah. So, yeah, Kale's gonna open the door, and just opens it, and your chariot awaits.
Knock him out.
She lets go and then clocks him.
Straight down to the ground.
And that one doesn't need to go anywhere either. If you want him, Snargle, you can have him.
Yes, please. And Snargle's gonna run over and like climb up the other guard's body and just like,
Hey, what the?
and just like bite him.
Ow! Ow! Ow!
Little help, Naomi.
You let that thing off a leash?
Now, Snargle
Look.
has a delightful lust for life, although
Yeah,
their lust
Snargle
for
needs to have a little fun
blood.
sometimes.
Yes, and also we've learned that leashing Snargle is not good.
Yeah, it doesn't work.
All right, hold on to something. And she sucker punches the other guy while Snargle is like nipping at him.
Goblet at a punch. That's unfair. I just face plants into the pile of coins. They kind of
Where
clatter
are
and
the
go
other
everywhere.
3 guards right now?
They are at the ends. There's 2 on one end and 1
And
on
do
the
they
other.
see us at this moment?
They don't see you, but the guard who face planted into the coins kind of scattered and
Yeah.
made a bit of a noise that has attracted the attention of all 3. They're about they're about 100 feet apart, and you guys are smack in the middle.
All right, so Naomi like sees that happen, like rubs her knuckles a little bit, like, oh, that kind of hurt. And then she looks around for like the most expedient exit, or like whatever's going to be the path of least resistance.
I think we need to take out the other guards before we go. We don't want anybody knowing that we're loose.
One of them takes one look at you and starts bolting to the other farther down the hallway where you see a wireless telephone thing.
No, I think I'm just gonna go straight after that one.
Okay.
And I'm gonna yell out behind the other ones, take care of the other 2, I've got this one. And bolt right after that one.
Okay. He sees you coming and starts to try to run faster to get to it. What do you do to try to stop him?
I think that I'm gonna run. Because that's one of my things that I'm good at.
Seriously?
Yeah. Under
Just
tough,
running.
I have run.
All right.
It's a tag.
It's a tag.
Yep. It's run, sure. It's under survivor. You've got run. Yeah, I'll allow it.
The captain doesn't just run; she runs hell of fast.
She runs hell
Yes.
fast. So I don't know if you want me to run for roll for this, or what do you want me to do for this? But
Yeah, because he's a lot closer to the phone than you
Okay.
are. So let's roll for it to see how quickly you get to him.
So my whole thought process is, am I just rolling then the 1 die and then that tag, or am I rolling survivor as well? Just because I haven't done this kind of system before, I just want to make sure I'm doing the right thing.
So you would roll 1 die for doing the thing,
Okay.
1 die for smuggler, and then a 3rd for run.
Okay.
Survey says
It's 1 success.
1 success. You reach him just as he grabs the phone off the hook. He doesn't have a chance to say much more than "there" as you grab
She's gonna
him.
tackle him and put him in a chokehold.
Okay. He does not get the rest of his words out. The phone drops, kind of clangs against the side of the wall, and you successfully have a guard in a chokehold.
Okay.
Are any of these guards armed?
You do not see any anything on them. They do. I mean, they're standard goons, and perhaps not armored goons
Crumbs.
or armed goons in this. You can search a body to try and find if you want to.
Yeah, shiny things.
Shiny.
I was more looking for like a pistol or a sword or something we could draw and coerce this
Kale's gonna
gentleman.
take all the
Too.
coins that's scattered.
Okay. Significant amount of probably the equivalent of a couple $100 of
I'll
coins.
walk I'll walk over and pick up that phone.
Does that qualify as hitting my key?
What key is it?
What are you gonna
Key of
do with the
greed.
phone?
Key of greed is what I have.
I would
Like
say
the
yeah,
shiny-
because you like this is the
Okay.
middle of a like fight situation. You're like, I will go for the coins. I'll say yeah, you hit that. Sure.
Okay.
Like I cover the. Actually, what kind of is this like the old timey like you have the phone here and like you put up your ear and then you talk into it, or is it like
There's an actual handle.
Okay.
Yeah.
Then I just cover the bottom of the receiver and go like I gotta say something, right? So
Well, I was gonna have him say something on pain
really-
of death.
He's turning an interesting shade of purple.
he is turning an interesting shade of purple.
And you
My friend
hear
here
coming
is-
very tinny out of the earpiece. Can you repeat that? We didn't quite get it.
I was gonna lean down and go, "Do you want to live?"
Mm-hmm.
Then you're gonna do exactly what I say when I say and how I say it. Is that clear? Okay, I'm gonna let it go.
Oh. Yeah.
You're going to tell them everything's fine down here and nothing has happened. Is that clear?
Yes.
Okay. Or you will die.
And I gingerly hold the receiver up to his head.
Roll to intimidate this guy.
Okay.
I mean, you did choke the hell out of him, so it's gonna be pretty easy, but just in case.
Can I also add creepy stare to that?
Oh, sure.
Sweet.
That's
I love that that's a tag.
God, is there any
Yeah.
way I could help with this? Ah.
While
Nothing.
that's happening, Naomi has like thundered down the hallway towards the other guards and just
Okay.
like gives them the 1-2, just tries to like
I'm also gonna
sweep
add
the
one
leg
from
out
my
and
pool.
drop them as fast
So
as
I'm
possible.
rolling 4.
Okay.
Snargle is up there
There you go.
helping.
Circle of helping. Kale just like scraping money into a bag. The guard. Everything's fine. Sorry, the phone just fell off the hook. You know, Joseph is, does stuff sometimes. Everything's everything's fine down here. Sorry.
And I just take the phone and hang it up.
Okay, what you're gonna do now is everyone is going to go in the cell that you had us in. Follow me.
Fair.
Hale will have finished gathering all the coins by now.
Yeah, I'm dragging one of the unconscious bodies into the cell. That's what I'm doing.
Okay. So we have 2 unconscious, the guy on the phone who is, but all 3 of those are in there, and we pan over to Naomi, who is currently 1v2 on those remaining 2 guards who have decided that let's fight this. So how are you fighting these guards?
So she's making it as quick and efficient as possible. She's not fighting clean. She's never fought clean in her life. It's mostly out of necessity. So she's like in the boxer stance. Maybe they make a swing. She goes low and then goes for the gut punch, the knee to the groin, the elbow down on top, turns to the other guy, lets him like swing. Maybe he catches her in the chin and she's like,
At which
okay,
point
you
Snargle
can
nuts
have
him.
this. And then like does a snap kick from behind to like slam him
Nice.
against the wall.
Awesome. Go ahead and roll for that.
Yeah, so I've got Pit Fighter.
Mhm.
I am combat tested. I am brutal. I am a living weapon. I have no weapons. And I'm fast.
Yeah.
Oh, good.
If I click the thing, oh, there we go. So that's what 6, I think. 3 successes.
Nice.
Easy enough. The one does manage to catch you across the chin, but you've had so much worse. That's like a knee scrape to you. And these 2 guards, they are trained Imperial Brig guards, and they try to put up a fight. They are no match for you whatsoever. You have them down. That spinning kick manages to hit both of them against each other, and they just keel over.
These are Imperials.
Mhm.
Yeah. So she looks around, sees Snargle there, and like she's going to like wail on them more, and then stops on seeing Snargle there, and like pulls her punch.
I will then like walk into the stride very happily into the hallway and Naomi, my dear, and then hold up for like a high five.
She's holding the punch. She like whips around and immediately like goes into professional mode, like dusts her jacket off and then high five. Bam.
Excellent work.
Next steps, Captain.
Captain Vance?
Yes. We're putting them in the brig themselves, so they can't cause any trouble.
I'm
Yeah,
sorry, I
so-
was talking to my captain.
Oh, I'm sorry.
Well, as we've spoken on this, Naomi, for the time being, I think it would be wise to, I mean, Cyrus, this is really more your sort of thing, isn't it? So, please, I'm open to suggestions. Naomi, you're embarrassing me in front of the captain.
Okay.
My
Captain
mistake.
Vance.
My mistake.
Next steps.
Yes, we had.
Thank you,
I
Naomi.
suggested that we put everyone in the brig so they don't cause us any problems.
A capital idea. And I like reached down, like hoofed up one of the dudes.
Oh, let me help you with that. And Cyrus will go over and help.
And I just drop him to the floor.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Snargle, you see Naomi like wailing on these, but just stop when she gets a look at you. What do you do in response to that?
Why'd you stop?
I wasn't sure. I didn't want to. It's complicated.
Okay, I can help you pull one into the cell if you'll split the coins.
Sure.
Okay. And this like 3.5 foot
Surprisingly
tall goblin.
Tough
is
for a
kind of making it
gobbo.
work.
Well, excellent news, Captain. I have pilfered every coin off of these bodies.
Oh, good. I was worried you were gonna have to do some work.
If perhaps we could continue to proceed ourselves
Yes,
from this
I
place,
think
I
what
should
we
not
need
like
to
to
do
stay here a
next
moment longer.
Is when we were walked through this, what was the layout of the ship?
Mm.
So the brig is literally the very bottom of the ship, metal floor, all of that, so people can't, blow their way out. So there's a series of stairs and other decks that would take you up. The owl was captured and brought into kind of their cargo bay. You were then kind of led through the ship up to like the bridge to kind of be like shown in front of the captain, kind of a deal, and then brought down into the brig. So you've kind of traversed the whole ship throughout this process, and you have a general direction of where your ship might be, as well as where the bridge might be, kind of depending on where you want to go.
On of my crew, would I expect then that Snargle would be the best at knowing the direction on this ship of where our ship is and all of that?
Yes, Kale
Okay.
would probably know where any shiny things are that you all passed. Snargle, definitely as a pilot, you would have been paying attention to be able to kind of navigate at
Okay.
least, that way kind of direction.
Captain,
Oh.
would it be also prudent to sabotage the engine of this ship?
Yes, and we need fuel, right?
Yes, conveniently, we can acquire that as well.
Great. Okay,
So-
this is what I think we should do.
Please.
Although I would like to know, since we're in this kind of thing, Naomi, you're good at hitting things, quite capable.
She looks at her fists and like shrugs.
What other
one of the
skills
best, I assure you.
do you have? Yes, I've actually heard tales of you. What other skills do you have?
I fight. I keep people safe. I know how to hide. I know how to get places. I can figure out what the most dangerous thing in a room is. If it's not me, I'll be able to tell you what is.
She's also
That
an
is-
excellent conversationalist.
Charming.
She tries to smile and it looks like it hurts.
Yeah, it's like the most painful. Like,
And Natasha is beaming at this. Just,
I made you so uncomfortable. And Lady Natasha, I know that women often of your rank are seen as nothing more than ornamental. But I'm sure that you yourself have skills and talents that you have used. What would they be?
Well, nothing too much to write home about, but being an heir to the Storm Throne, well, and like I crackle some magical energy between my fingertips as I unfurl my hand. I have my ways.
Ah,
They're a bit loud though, so I figured for the moment it's probably unwise to start casting lightning bolts all over the place. A time and a place for all things.
yes, of course. Right. I think a good plan would be, Snargle, you map us a great route, working with Kale to find the best route through this ship, to not see as many people as possible, but picking up as many things as we can while sabotaging them on the way, acquiring what we need, sabotaging their system, and getting us to the Owl in time to get out of here and on our way so that we can take the lovely lady where she needs to go. Am I missing anything?
Excellent plan, Captain.
Mm-hmm.
Wait, didn't you need fuel?
That was part of acquiring what we need.
Oh, yes, of course. Of course. I'm unaccustomed to this ship travel, I'm afraid. I have much to learn.
Well,
I think you're doing quite well.
I think so too.
all right. Well, it's best that we've planned now. Snargle, why don't we take a look around here so we can figure out where we are exactly?
Mm-hmm. Well, our ship's in the cargo bay, so we should probably start by sabotaging all the things in engineering. We can make them explode.
Oh, yes. And for a ship this large, there's bound to be an armory, and with vast amounts of explosives.
Snargle wants big boom.
You will get your big boom, Snargle.
Coming around on the goblin.
They have a specific charm about them, to be sure.
Also, I'm really sneaky, and I can do this. And as Snargle makes that terrible little face.
I love them.
And
It's
as they make
charming.
that terrible little face, they actually grow in size until they're about 6.5 feet tall, with
Oh my.
hideous wings coming out of their back, and they look more like a fearsome dragon than a cute little goblin. And then they shrink back down.
Yes, it's very charming.
Why would
Really
you ever
coming
want...
around on the goblin.
Quite handy.
Why would you ever want to look like anything else? That's delightful.
I like the way I look now. Mm.
Fair point. So,
And you're wonderful for that in every way.
Aw, thank you. Let's go blow
Much-
some shit up.
Agreed. So I guess we're gonna go probably find the army and blow some and make sure we get the engines not working.
Excellent.
Mhm.
All right.
I'm assuming
So-
that counts as hitting a key for me.
Yeah.
Okay. Making sure.
I'm gonna double check that I hit a key earlier too. Key of the Guardian. Hit your key when you make a decision influenced by Lady Blackbird or protect her from harm. I mean, arguably dealing with the guards is one thing, but deferring to Lady
Mhm.
Blackbird saying like, "No, you're in charge."
Yep. Absolutely. Deferring and saying, no, my captain. Absolutely hit.
Yeah.
it was really good.
That's good.
Yep.
And then I passed the buck anyway.
Nice.
Lady Blackbird's just happy to be here.
Just along for the ride.
Excellent.
You're the beacon.
Kinda, yeah, actually.
Yep. I guess Snargle and I are going to basically find the armory and then sabotage the engines. So
Mhm.
however you want us to roll for that.
I feel like we
Okay.
would mostly stay together, but you are
Yeah.
leading this
Gonna
because
Okay.
Okay.
All right.
you know the layout and what to do.
Yeah, we're
Yeah,
kind of
so
All
we-
right.
Yeah.
So they did not actually lead you through engineering to get here, but you can I'll have you can kind of like follow the sounds of the engine that just kind of reverberate throughout the whole ship
Right.
to try and find it.
Okay. I guess I could make a roll here. So we're gonna try. So we're gonna try to be quiet and sneak, and we're probably gonna. I'm probably gonna use also this perceptive and then we're gonna use mechanic for engines and
Yeah, I was
try
gonna
to
say
look
you
for
could
that.
definitely use that. Okay.
Okay, so that's 5 dice because I get
Heck yeah.
Yeah.
okay. 3 successes.
Nice. Yeah. You're able to lead everybody through to the engines. You do, however, this is not an entirely abandoned ship. And people know that you are here. So are you trying to avoid detection, or are you just going full blast to the engine room?
We're gonna probably avoid detection. We don't want to give ourselves away. We want to make sure nobody knew we even escaped.
Okay.
And then once there's a big boom, that won't matter so much.
Yeah.
Not really, no. Okay. So you did roll the 3 on that. So you're kind of walking through the ship, kind of maybe take a wrong turn or two, but easily notice that no, engines are getting quieter, need to go back the other way. And you avoid detection. Snargle kind of keeping a lookout and just kind of letting everybody know when they see guards so that everybody can kind of, back up behind the corner, all that. And you make it to the engine room, which is full of people. All these engineers just kind of like working on the engines. You see some like lightning crackling as the engines kind of keep going, and all of that. It's very Star Trek engineering in terms of population. So it's probably gonna be pretty hard to get in here without being noticed, and definitely to set something off without being noticed. So what is the plan?
Did we pass an armory at all?
Well, if these are electrical engines, and we simply wish them to stop,
yes, that
it won't be
work.
subtle, but I can make that happen.
Question is, do we have what we need, and can we get off of this place before?
Indeed, I would
we
hate
are free
to
falling?
set off the fireworks before we are well prepared to make a hasty departure from this place.
We need
The owl was not completely out of gas. Pretty significantly depleted. So you couldn't get fully where you're going. You might be able to, with the reserves you have, you might be able to make it to Nightport and see if you can find more fuel there, or you can get a full tank here. So just kind of.
So from the engines, do we have like a rough idea of where the ship should be, considering where we were taken from, since we were taken from the ship to the brig?
Yeah, the cargo bay is a couple of decks up, but it's this kind of general back of the ship area where you are.
I have an idea.
We'd have to lug fuel all the way up there too.
Is the fuel here, or is the fuel up in the cargo deck?
You did not see fuel in the cargo bay. There might be more than one cargo bay. You see lines for fuel, but you don't see barrels of stored fuel. So it's coming from somewhere else into here.
Troublesome.
Could follow the lines. Where the lines go?
Yep.
They go. The engineering is kind of like a 2-deck situation. There's the bottom deck where you all are, the kind of lots of lightning engine-y, cool special effects stuff happening. Second floor, the fuel lines kind of go up and travel kind of back. So the engineering is kind of in the back of the ship. The fuel lines kind of travel in the opposite direction. And I'm pointing as if you can actually see on a whole ship behind me. So they would kind of go back in the other direction of the ship, perhaps where there is a fuel storage tank of some sort.
I could try making myself really small and follow those lines.
But if you're very small, then how do you then get the fuel to us and the owl?
Well, if I come out somewhere big, I can make myself bigger again.
It's not a bad idea.
I think that's smart. This is what we do.
Yes, Captain.
Do we have any way of communicating with each other? We don't, do we? If we
Mm-mm.
split up.
Correct.
I think we should head to the owl. Get our communication devices. Because we have I'm assuming we have communication devices on the owl itself.
Yeah, like just some sort of steampunk walkie-talkie
Yeah.
situation. Yeah.
I assume. I vote. This is what I think we should do. We go to the owl. We get our communication devices. You go with and follow the fuel.
Okay.
Snargle.
And before you can say anything else, Snargle like shrinks down to the size of a little lizard and starts skittering away.
Just wait. We need to talk about. Okay, whatever.
And they're gone.
It'll be fine.
Yeah.
Owl. It'll be fine. Whatever.
Snargle will be fine.
Okay, we'll go to the owl.
Agreed.
I have an idea. But Lady
Captain.
and Naomi, you're going to have to trust me. I can get us out of here, but I'm going to have to split the two of you up. Will you trust me?
I kind of give Naomi a controlled, worried look. Actually, I have a question of our GM.
Yeah.
I am a master sorcerer. This is very loosely defined.
Yes.
How much leeway have I got to just say like, oh, I've got a spell for blah?
Sure. You've got
Okay.
spells for that. Yeah.
Okay, because, Captain, it's more of a transmission than a two-way thing, but I can send messages across the wind. If that would help.
Oh, that's oddly convenient.
I
It is, isn't it, Kale? How strange.
don't tell everyone this,
Mm-hmm.
but I can
Yes.
teleport, but only myself and one other person.
Scandalous.
I would have to split the two of you up. I could not get you both back to the owl.
It's kind of my job description. Where she goes, I go.
Yeah.
I realize this.
I mean, as much as I would like to see Naomi safely aboard the Owl, I do wonder how well I would fare here on my own, finding my own way back. Oh, but I'd love to try.
Yeah.
I am kidding, of course. This is a joke, a levity to lighten the tenseness of the situation. I am hesitant to part from my companion and bodyguard.
Captain, if I may be so frank, the only ones that need to risk themselves would be myself and Snargle. You should make do with the mission and make sure Lady Blackbird arrives at her destination.
That is my plan. And I know that I can get her there, but she does have powers that could be useful without putting any of us at risk.
I think Naomi looks at Lady Blackbird for a long, very pregnant, 5 seconds.
And I think anytime that the electrical arcing stuff around the engine room kind of sparks, the irises of her eyes flash at the
Yeah.
same moment and intensity with them.
Super cool.
Almost like
You
she's
gonna make it if
resonating.
you gonna make it if I walk away, Tasha?
We've made it this far, Naomi. I put my hand on her shoulder. I put my hand up on her shoulder.
Yeah.
We've made it this far. What's a few more feet, right?
She turns to face Cyrus. All right, Vance, we'll play it your way. But if anything happens to her, I will have your head.
Vance pulls herself up to all of her 5'5"
Oh, honey.
Goes up, looks up at Naomi and says, "On my life, I would die before I let any hair be harmed on her head."
How romantic.
All right. I'll hold you to it.
Well,
Do I have to
Stuff.
know where I'm teleporting to? This is my question before we...
It would help.
Okay,
To
so
know
I
where
think we
you're
all need to
teleporting
go
to.
up there, find it, and then head back. So we probably should do that.
I mean, you could try
I just
to
think that would not
teleport
be
without knowing
smart.
where you were going.
If you need help with the working of the arcane, and like Natasha holds out her hands.
Uh,
You see little lightning sparks on Natasha's fingers.
my concern is knowing where we go so that we don't end up in the aether.
What's life without a little risk, Captain?
Naomi flinches.
And Kale kind of twitches a little bit.
Naomi recognizes
Fuck.
Kale's impulse as well.
So let's reach out and grab her hands.
Oh,
And that's one of my
okay.
keys. You're welcome.
Yes.
Oh, no shit.
Yep. You do hit that one.
Yep.
Mhm.
Yep.
So are we trying to teleport without knowing exactly where we're going?
Well, we're gonna fuck up the engine before we teleport.
Okay.
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Sorry, I thought
Okay.
you were going to teleport first.
Yeah. No.
Because I was going to say, like, I was going to, like, offer to help you. Sorry, what I was proposing there was that, like, I can at least assist and add a die to your roll, because since I know a thing or two about sorcery, perhaps I could help you essentially cast your spell. But, sorry, if you would have helped blow up a thing first, I may have gotten my order out
Yeah,
of-
you're fine. No.
Okay.
I was gonna
Alright.
get you the fuck out of here,
Yeah. Okay.
but you can send
Alright.
whispers on the wind.
Yeah, I can,
Mhm.
I can send, yeah.
Can you find out where Snargle is?
Ooh, they won't be able to respond, but I can say hello to them, if you'd like. Hello, Snargle. Won't really be helpful to them.
Somewhere
Pan
in the
over
depths
to
of the ship, a
Snargle,
little
who-
lizard.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Absolutely. You're like crawling along these fuel lines. You're hearing like kind of noises that might seem like you're getting close to there, and suddenly you hear this voice of
Hello,
"Hey, Snargle. Hello, Snargle," just come out of absolutely nowhere. You're in a tiny little, functionally like a air vent here. There is nobody around, but you hear this voice.
It blows past you with a soft breeze.
It's very calming, if a little odd, coming out of nowhere.
Just kind of look very slowly. Shrug and just keep skittering.
Listen, worst case scenario, we end up in the aether, and we just have to figure out how to stop falling.
And how to breathe.
One step at a time.
I'll leave that up to you.
Can I motion that this plan is becoming worse and worse every minute?
Noted,
Can
logged,
I-
and ignored.
Can I motion that you need to get back to the owl right now, Kale?
Are you sure, Captain?
How tall is Kale?
Kale's like 5'10" and very thin.
Cyrus just gets up and pushes up on her tiptoes and is like, Kale,
Yes, Captain.
did I give you an order?
Ooh, forceful.
Very well, Captain. But you must know that I protest this.
Yes, I
Amen.
know. Your protestation has been noted. Now go.
Very well. No offense, but Kale looks over at Naomi. I may need some assistance, Naomi.
Sure thing, I'm used to being the gopher. What's a little solidarity?
Naomi Bishop, you are much cuter than a gopher. Well then, shall we, everyone?
I'm going with Kale.
So, what's our first move?
What can you do?
Like, meta answer or in character answer? You nodded. I don't know what that means.
Oh, I was nodding at something else. Sorry.
Oh.
So yeah. So what's I know we have Snargle looking for the fuel. Kale and Naomi are heading back to the owl.
Mm-hmm.
So Natasha and Cyrus What are you guys?
We're going to
fucking up the
wait
engines?
we're going to stay hidden and wait until we give
Okay.
them time to get where they need to be. And then Natasha's going to fuck up the engine. And then we're going to try to teleport.
Okay.
This is an excellent plan.
It's a really bad
This is
Nothing
a fantastic plan.
Can go wrong.
Nothing could go wrong. Nope.
So when we get to the cargo hold, first thing Kale's gonna do is, before getting to the ship, he's gonna pilfer through all the crates that exist on that cargo hold and find anything shiny or worthwhile.
Okay.
This
Sure.
can't go wrong. This can't go wrong
absolutely.
at all.
Roll me burglar and any traits you want to add on that.
All right, we're gonna probably go for. Let's see if there's any locks. We're gonna look for that. We're gonna handle that. We're also going to probably be still quiet about it. And I want to say, let me see here. So we got quiet, locks, and we're still gonna try to be pretty sneaky about it and try to just peek through, see what's there. So that's about 4 dice.
Yeah.
No successes. Yes.
Oh. So you get to the cargo bay. You have managed to avoid detection. You kind of got like the general direction where you need to go. You got there really well. You and Naomi both did not set off any guards or any alarms. You even snuck into the cargo bay with nobody noticing, and you start poking through these crates. And in the process of lifting one up, there's like a couple of crowbars on the top of it that you don't notice, and as you lift the top of the crate, these crowbars just clatter with this absolute ear-splitting metal on metal clang that echoes a couple of times across the cargo bay.
Kale just closes the lid.
It was full of oranges, by the way.
Oh, well, he takes one orange and he just pockets it, and he just closes the lid. Let's get to the ship.
You hear the sounds of many feet of guards running in this direction, and a low alarm starting to sound throughout the ship. As
Naomi, if you don't mind, can you hold them off while I get the ship ready?
She scoops up one of the crowbars and like feels the weight and kind of like tosses it between both of her hands. Scoops up a second one. Yeah, I think I can do that.
Dual wielding crowbars.
Slowly, you get like a little shot of like panning backwards as she slowly walks towards them, like twirling the crowbars.
And I hit,
Beautiful.
and because my key caused us to go into danger, I'm gonna give myself 2 XP.
Yep. For sure. You also have acquired 1 orange, by the way.
I got 1 orange. Yes.
Plus 1 orange.
Plus 1 orange.
At least
All right.
you dive screen.
Hey, it's important for your for your health, okay?
Yep. As this happens, panning back to Snargle, you finally reach the end of the fuel lines, and you see this like really large fuel tank situation happening that is feeding fuel into the engines of various parts of the ship. There is also many barrels of fuel that are evidently, emptied out into the giant tank, otherwise kind of like, putting gas in your car. It is a kind of like mid-ship that you managed to get here. And almost immediately as you see this and you start counting guards and counting barrels of fuel, you hear this low alarm happening throughout the ship.
Do the people down below react at all?
Yeah, they all start like getting and like, running about and kind of like pulling levers and just kind of like general alert action of sorts. I don't think they have a lot to be doing being the fuel guys, but they do it.
Okay. I want to use my warp shape and turn really big and basically just scare them all out of the room.
Okay. So you are currently a tiny little lizard. You like just take a leap off the thing and turn into dragon of
Great
swords.
big, yeah. In my head, Snargle looks kind of like those frill-necked lizards that have like the collars that, and just turns into like a really big one of those, but those are more like wings hanging back instead, and kind of flies around the top of this room, roaring at these poor people.
Amazing. I'm not even gonna have you roll for that because these are like they're lower than the guards that you all just took out. These are like, you know, the low men on the ship, and they're like, fuck, we don't get paid enough to deal with that and whatever this is. And most of them just start bolting out of the room. There's a couple of them that are like, no, we could totally take the dragon. Oh no, we can't. And out.
I land and transform back into my child-sized goblin and go, well, that was easy. And start looking for a barrel or something that I could roll on back to the ship, or if there are hoses that it looks like I could carry on out and hook up or something.
There's definitely a lot of like hoses and stuff that are connecting the fuel tank to other lines, and then there's several really large barrels that you probably couldn't, you know, knock over, but some other ones that are about probably not a whole lot of fuel in them, but of the size that you would be able to roll.
Are any of those lines labeled helpful things like this one goes to the cargo bay?
They're labeled with things like A1 and B74 and other bingo calls that probably mean something to somebody who's not you.
Okay. I'm going to take the biggest barrel that I can comfortably roll and start rolling it on back towards where I think the owl is.
Okay, so in the middle of all of this chaos and the alarm and guards and crew running everywhere, there's this little goblin just rolling a barrel of fuel throughout the ship. A couple of guards like stop and be like, hey, what do you
Trundle.
And then there's a couple of comments of like, that's not the problem. There's another thing. They're trying to take the ship. And the guy who found it was like, I don't see how that's not a problem, but okay. And lets you continue.
So good.
Rolling. So Natasha and Cyrus, what are you two doing?
I'm assuming once the alarms start, we will hear them.
Yes.
I do believe that is our cue.
Yes.
Shall I take the stage?
Yes, do.
As I step like out into the engineering room, I kind of like stop for a half second, turn back, and go, "Make sure you're not touching anything metal."
Great. Can I find any place that there's not metal?
Actually, yes. So
Okay.
the floor of the ship is metal, but this being engineering with a lot of energy and electricity, there's several places where there's like rubber mat type things that people can stand on to avoid being electrocuted.
Perfect. I'll stand on one of those.
And then I'll kind of step out into the open next to one of the huge like lightning arcing generator things. And
hey, what are you doing? You're not.
Gentlemen,
hey, we got one down here too, Commander.
Fire in the hole. And as I reach my arm up into the air, I pull in like the lightning from the engines like into this hand, and then cast it out with the other one into one of the other engines, essentially trying to short circuit the entire engine system with magic.
Excellent. Roll
So,
for I mean Master Sorcerer obviously is what
I
you'd
figure
be rolling for that one.
Master Sorcerer, lightning, and maybe channeling.
Also spellcaster for the matter. For the
Spellcaster?
record. Yeah.
Excellent. All right, that gets me up to 4.
Oh yeah, channeling. Sure.
Okay. And then I think I'm gonna add 2 from my pool just in case.
Okay.
I don't want this to go bad, Fry, my friend.
Move.
Now we're
6.
playing Shadowrun.
Can you tell? 6 dice. Did it roll? There it goes.
Nice.
That's why they call
my
me
god. Oh my good gods.
I just want you all to know that no one sees this because she's not looking, but Cyrus is just like slack-jawed and just staring with the most admiration ever possible on anyone's face.
And like after this like goes out and
Damn.
explodes the engines, I just kind of like
Yeah.
turn back with a flourish, and like I'm backlit by all of this like
Yes.
lightning and fire, and I look at Captain Vance, and that's why they call me Lady Blackbird, and offer my hand to her.
Amazing. That is beautiful. There is lightning exploding everywhere. The ship like shakes with the force of its engines being completely obliterated and taken offline. Engineers freaking out all over the place. What the fuck? What was that? What? Ah! Kind of like screaming and trying to figure out what to do. Even though there's probably nothing they can do to fix this in the span of less than about 5 weeks. And you are completely backlit and surrounded by like sparks and lightning, and it looks super badass, especially with that one-liner at the end there. And the ship is very disabled. It's not going to be flying anywhere anytime soon. It's starting to kind of like free all out of whack.
Yeah, Cyrus takes a minute to just like the mouth agape, and then just steps forward. Breathtaking, my lady. Grabs your hand, kisses it, thinks of her chambers on the owl, and teleports.
Excellent.
Very specific place on the
Very
owl.
specific place on the owl. What do you have?
It's my secret of warp blood.
Oh, where it just kind of happens. That's cool.
It's just once per session. But I was like, this is a good time to use it.
That is a good time to
That's
use
solid.
it. So in the midst of all of this lightning and sparking, you grab Natasha's hand and kind of like have this whirlwind pull into a teleport and land in your chambers on the owl. You hear the alarms. You hear a bit of sound of bodies hitting the floor outside and the clanking of crowbar against other person from some of this. But you are successfully in the owl.
I think
Question.
Cyrus is going to... Well, go ahead.
I was gonna say, question, Kate, do we land standing up or do we land into bed?
I think we're going to land standing up because I have plans. Anyway.
You can refresh that secret if you have a refreshment scene.
Yes.
Yes, I realize
Anyway.
this, but I have plans, and they are a little bit of a long game.
Just
you
wanted to put that on the
tease.
table.
Because Cyrus is used to doing this. This is something she does. I think Lady Blackbird's a little bit discombobulated by the warping. I don't think this is something she does, but Cyrus is used to it, finishes a very courtly bow, finishes the kiss, and dips her, picks her back up, and says, "A pleasure, my lady. Let's go see what's going on," and then leaves. Just very dashing.
Yeah, and the lady just kind of like turns and and like goes out of frame as we cut to whatever's next.
Yep. So cutting to Naomi and Kale. Naomi, you are dual wielding crowbars against all these goons,
Oh
right?
yeah. Oh yeah.
Absolutely. Go ahead and give me a pit fighter.
Yeah, I'd love nothing more.
Yeah.
I'm a
roll.
pit fighter. I'm combat tested. I am brutal. Do all of these count? I'm a living
I
weapon.
think
I'm
all of
fast and
those
hard.
are gonna hit. Yeah.
Jeez,
That's
Louise.
a
That's
lot
what,
of
8
dice.
Get your heart out, Gordon Freeman.
They're waiting
that's-
for you.
7 dice
In
plus
the
whatever you want to
pain
add to your
chamber.
pool.
Yeah.
Yeah, well, it's not super. There's a lot of them. I'll add 2 dice for my pool.
Okay.
Just make it a total of 10. I like to roll
why
even
not?
numbers on this show.
Oh, Jesus.
There it is.
Excellent.
There it is.
Look at those
Excellent.
6s.
That
There's
is
a lot of 6s. Holy
thing
cow.
of beauty. So yeah, you are having no trouble. They just like keep coming at you in like waves. Like, where does the Empire get all of these people? And you're just like knocking them out easy. Do some like cool spinning kick stuff, whatever you want that to look like, you got
Yeah,
it.
she's trading. She's got like the two crowbars. It's a sequence shot. It's like what is it in the Kingsman with
Yeah,
the
yeah.
Oh,
church
yeah.
scene? It's
Yeah, the
like
church.
one big long flow action fight sequence, like crowbar into one guy, smash. Guy comes up from behind, backhand crowbar, sends him flying, flips it back around. Guy comes up, hucks the crowbar, hits him. He goes flying backwards. Guy comes in with a knife, swing, swing, parry, parry with the crowbar. He gets a shank in against like her arm. She pulls the knife out, flips it out, puts the knife back into him, kicks him back into a crate. Like she's unarmed, but she's more dangerous without a weapon, arguably. So it's a lot of like grapple, pull this person down, use that energy to hit them into another person. And she's just like at a certain point we get like a slow motion shot as she like sort of zones out as she's like grabbing, throwing, punching, and then like her eyes sort of start to go red, and then she like someone I think hits her, like gets a good hit on the back of her head, and that's when she gets really mad, and like goes for like a boot knife, and all of a sudden like slash like there's ribbons, just sort of like anime, like the screen goes black and then red ribbons going like flying across the screen, and like as people come out of the ship I think we see like maybe there probably are still guards coming at her, but there's just like a pile, like a long like carpet of bodies, and she's like sweating, and like wiping the hair back and like getting ready for round two.
Absolutely. I saw all that happen as you described it. That was awesome.
Very good.
So good.
I'm gonna do it again. So
I just love like the idea of that wide shot, just like the clang of like one of the crowbars hitting the floor afterwards,
yeah.
just and then silence.
absolutely.
Oh my
Yep.
god.
Absolutely. The crate actually that you kicked the person into was the crate of oranges, and it falls
Oh, yeah.
over, and so there's just like fruit on the deck
Just
as well.
rolling around.
Mhm.
She whips around and sees I think Lady Blackbird coming out of the ship. Just, felt that one from all the way up here. Nice work.
Yeah, no, heard that one from all the way in there. Shall we make our leave?
Is
Let's.
Snargle back?
Can I say that at this point, Snargle is coming in the far end?
Yes, it's a different entrance, but you see like Snargle, you walk in, all these bodies on the floor with some oranges, and you're just like rolling the barrel of fuel in.
Aw, you all had so much fun without me.
We're never having fun without you around, Snargle.
But you did the most important part.
I got a barrel.
Great. Let's get out of this place.
What is Kale doing while all of this?
So
carnage and
Kale's
chaos
literally
and
like in the
teleport is
bowels of
happening?
so Kale's in the bowels of the owl, literally like tinkering like a mad person, trying to like pulling wires, reconnecting lines, and trying to like jury rig any systems that he knew were not exactly in their best shape before we were captured, and probably needing to actually fix those things. Oh yeah, I forgot to cross the red line again. And so he's just pulling wires. He's also like taking other like fuel cells and reinserting them back in. It's like, I hope Snargle came back with the right fuel this time. And so
Diesel versus regular.
You're right. That's not gonna end well. So I'm gonna say he's we're probably gonna roll for mechanics, so he's like just like pull like half the engineering section is just literally like pieces everywhere, tools all over the place, and it's a mad scramble.
Excellent.
So I'm going to probably say pretty much everything except sabotage applies. so it's going to be repair, engines, efficiency, spare parts. I will say I'll throw in also two more. I'll also throw in two dice from my pool. So that's but that was 7 dice here. All right, let's see how those odds work out for me. Worked out better.
Nice. Easy enough to fix anything you want to be fixing as every so often we cut away from you and see like another body hit the floor, and then back to you, and
Yeah, and then eventually he goes, "Ow, hot, 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 hot."
little spark happening. Something catches fire in the background, but immediately goes right back out. Yeah.
Yeah, it's like, and it's just like he just throws like a towel over. It's like, no, that probably won't work.
No, this doesn't do.
No, this will not do.
All right. So you are all in the owl or close enough to it that you can jump right on. The the alarm is still going throughout the ship. You're now hearing over the loudspeakers, kind of a little bit crackly, with some of the, not super great steampunk technology that happens sometimes. Somebody calling for, all forces to the cargo bay, kind of a thing. There is Naomi, everybody in the cargo bay is down, but you hear others kind of coming.
Everybody on the ship, let's get out of here now.
I was just getting warmed up.
I know you did amazing.
Want to carry a barrel?
It's not quite the same as cracking in a few skulls, but I guess it'll have to
Naomi,
do.
Come in here and let me see that arm. Come.
What arm? Oh.
You're bleeding, dear.
Oh. That wasn't very fair of them.
It never is. And
Oh.
like Lady Blackbird goes looking for like gauze or just cloth or whatever.
I'm sure we have.
She's
it.
hauling the
it.
barrel,
Yeah.
even with the.
Yeah.
Amanda, I'm sure. I don't know. Do we have a bridge? I don't know what our setup is.
Well,
Yeah,
you'd be up on
like,
deck, wouldn't you? Like,
Yeah, we have a deck.
Yeah.
sky ship.
This guy
we
ship.
get Snurgle into the pilot seat, and I'm going to call down to engineering, which I'm assuming is some like weird mechanical system.
Yeah.
Oh, it's like those
tubes.
the tubes,
Old
the
tubes
call
from-
tubes. Yeah, call tubes.
Mhm.
Kale,
For sure.
Yes,
ready to go?
Captain. Yes, Captain. Oh, it's hot. No, yes, yes, yes.
let's get out of here. Snurgle, get us out.
You got it, Cap. And just like put it into gear and boom, the nearest exit. Assuming there is
So-
one.
Yeah, so the doors to the cargo bay were open, just kind of as convenient for like things to fly in and out as normal. And those doors are starting to close as somebody has finally figured out these people are actually trying to leave. Our ship is fucked up. We should stop this. So go ahead and roll me whatever your pilot
Yep.
skill is.
I'm gonna go real fast. Is our ship like taller and narrower, or is it like sideways and fatter?
It is whatever you would like it to
I
look
think
like.
it looks pretty narrow in the picture.
Looks pretty narrow and
taller.
tall. Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay, cool. Then I won't have to rotate it sideways. I kind of want to rotate it sideways.
Rotate it sideways
we
anyways.
could say
Do
the
whatever you
doors-
want.
The doors are like
do
this.
whatever
Tall
you
and
want.
narrow, but the doors go like this.
Yeah,
So,
sure.
Yeah, let's
Yeah.
go.
Rotate
Yeah.
it
Fly through and
sideways.
rotate it sideways. So I have the pilot tag. I've got daring, steady, maneuvering, evasion, probably not, tricky flying, yes.
Yes.
Yeah.
Oh
Yes.
yeah.
And atmospherics is the other one that might apply because I'm assuming there's atmosphere in here.
Yeah. So I would say,
Five
yeah,
dice?
navigation, maps, and maneuvering and evasion probably don't apply, but the rest of them would.
Nice.
Right? Yeah.
That puts you at
Okay.
4.
Uh,
Could I potentially help by like going over to? Does this thing have like a big steering wheel, or like what do the controls
Sure.
of this look like?
If you would like a steering wheel, you can have it.
A big
You can
captain
make a
steering wheel.
Yeah.
I mean, I figured that was like Snargle if you have a preference, because whatever's cool for you, for what the controls of this thing look like.
Yeah, I'm gonna say it has a big like ship captain's wheel, and
I
Snarl
love
just
it.
like grows to fly it.
Fantastic.
Oh, and there's like levers for like the gear shifts.
Yes.
Could I help by like going over and like grabbing the base of this thing and like, kind of looking up and going, "Sorry, Snargle," and like trying to channel energy into it down to the engine to try and get the
Ooh.
little kick to the
Sure.
make it go
That's
faster?
Let's go
Absolutely.
fast. Let's go fast.
Take a second. Sorry, Snargle. And like, yeah, my eyes like kind of flash as like lightning shoots out of my hands and into the thing.
And you just hear from the voice tube, "Oh, it's hot."
Sorry, Kale.
Naomi's like leaning against, like grabbing onto like a hand pull or something, leaning over the chair. Like, you see the doors,
Oh,
right?
jeez.
We have to go fast.
Cyrus is gonna come walk up to you and say, "You got this, Snargle.
Mhm.
You're a good pilot.
I know.
You know what you're doing."
Yeah, shut up. So let me do it.
Yeah. I'm letting you re-roll
Yeah,
Oh, okay.
yeah.
Yep.
because you failed.
I totally failed. That was such a
So
bad
I'm letting you
roll.
Oh,
re-roll.
wow.
That's one of my
Like,
things.
after
like,
all
there was-
those rolls of 6s, it just was like, nope.
There was one success in that. Yep.
I got you. I got you.
No!
There's 2 successes in that 'cause it's a 4 or higher. So that's
Oh,
2 is
okay,
better than the
cool.
1. Yeah.
It's better than the one.
Better than those ones.
So you are trying this, you see this and you're trying to get there, and it is, you don't think you're gonna make it. This is a tight fit, and it's a tight space, doors are closing, you're trying to rotate the whole ship. You are
We have
not
any-
100% sure this is actually gonna work.
Do we have any weapons on board?
Kale,
Sure.
Kale, we need
Yeah, I
more
think you do.
power. We need something.
All right, Captain.
um,
I'm on it.
Yes, there's apparently
yeah.
a top-mounted external gun turret.
Okay.
Yeah, shoot that shit.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, Naomi
shoot
looks
them.
at Vance. You got any blasters on this thing?
Yeah, up top.
I'll make a hole. She
Good.
holes herself up.
So I'm gonna get Kale to give us more power,
Yep.
Okay.
and
Engines efficiency.
Naomi to blow us a hole.
All right,
Okay.
All right, so I'm gonna put in 2 of my dice pool into this. So it's gonna be engines and efficiency, and yeah, that will probably be. So that's gonna be 6 dice total. So because we're
Okay.
using mechanic, 3 successes.
Okay. I'm also gonna have Naomi roll for
Yeah.
the gun just to kind of see how this works together.
I'm thinking about what trait, bodyguard or keen.
Ooh,
Pit fighter doesn't seem to be
Pit fi-
applicable
yeah.
for human guns.
yeah.
I'd
What
say
is ex-slave?
no. I'd say you could do keen
Yeah,
because
okay.
this was a real good idea that you had, and you're gonna try to.
I think I can probably tap in aware.
Mhm.
Insightful, coiled, liars, traps. None of those seem to be applicable.
I'm gonna toss you some help by shouting out some instructions on how to use the gun.
All
Okay.
right. So it's
Perfect.
4. And I
Mhm.
will spend. I could spend the rest of my dice because we probably have a refreshment scene after this. So I'm rolling 8 dice
Yeah.
on this.
Okay,
Yeah.
solid.
I don't want to
That's
make this.
valid.
I want to make this happen.
Yeah,
5.
there
And
we go.
There we go.
together, you
Okay.
absolutely make this happen. Naomi, you grab the gun. What do as this completely freaking works?
How do you work this damn thing?
You gotta pinch it with the left hand.
Oh.
Aim it with both, and just pull.
That's weird. All right. She's like,
It'll be just like that Wednesday
Aiming.
night in Skylark, remember?
right. With the guy with the
With
2
the
left
guy
feet.
in the
Uh-huh.
hat. Just remember, like that.
Okay, and she like racks the gun, and like braces from Snargle, like punching it, and Kale like overworking everything, and she just like looks at the door, gets a good aim, and goes, "All right," and then racks the gun and says, "All right, let's get loud," and then the gun bucks, and she tries to like punch out holes to sort of expand the silhouette of the ship.
Absolutely giant hole in the side of this cargo bay. And Kale, what do you do down in the engines?
Kale is literally trying to jury rig like a short, like the fastest and most efficient fuel line, and try to just amp up the engine and just clear out any kind of obstructions from the fuel to the injector to the reaction needed to push the engines as hard as possible without breaking everything.
You are giving her all she's got in this.
Yep.
And
I'm
You-
giving it all she's got, Captain.
Okay, Scotty, make it work.
I just had to throw that Scotty reference in.
That was so
Because
perfect. Thank you.
You're welcome.
Me engines won't take more of this.
So
I
we have
cannot change the laws of physics.
all 5 of you, Cyrus shouting instructions, Naomi with the gun, Natasha shooting additional power down for Kale, and Snargle with some pretty badass flying. Your ship turns straight out of the ship, barely as the doors kind of like clang together and then kind of collapse because they've lost its structural integrity from the giant hole that Naomi blew into them. And the owl shoots out into the aether of the wild blue outside of this. You can look behind you and you see the ship starting to like go adrift and sideways as it is completely out of any kind of control power whatsoever. And you all are free of the whatever the ship was called.
Hand of sorrow.
Hand of Sorrow. That was it. Yes.
Yes.
I just turn to Cyrus and go, "You see? My plan worked."
And you just hear over the voice too. Ow.
I'll go check on Kale.
He's fine.
All right. And with that, we will go to break for a few minutes.
Absolutely. Before we go to break,
Box.
yeah, I will take this from here. Hello,
Thank you.
everyone. Yeah, we're about to go to break. We're gonna go take a quick pause, fill one of these up, empty bladders, etc., etc. It'll be about between 5 and 10 minutes, depending on how long it takes us. Ooh, I'm getting tired. Real quick though, I need to shout out our VIP sponsors over on Patreon. If you pledge $10 or more on Patreon a month, you get your name read out by me in my natural accent, which is unfortunate. This month, or right now, our Patreon supporters are, we'd like to thank Jack, Donald, Nerdy, Michelle, Abigator, Anino, and Andy. Thank you all ever so much. I'm going to go over here and find the break thing. There we go. There's the break thing. And we'll be back right after these messages. Don't go nowhere.
Thanks so much for hanging out with us today. If you get a second during break, you should check out one of our amazing sponsors. We're now proudly sponsored by Roll20, the best virtual tabletop for all your role-playing needs. Over 4 million people use Roll20's virtual tabletop to power their favorite games. And with more modules than you can shake a stick at on their new revamped storefront, you'll definitely find something for your group to enjoy. Sign up today by clicking the link below or heading to roll20.net/start/WTTP. Tabletop Loot is an amazing place to get your dice bags, dice boxes, and more. And now you can get 15% off your purchase at tabletoploot.com by using the code WTTPDICE at checkout. Tabletop Loot. Your party starts here. While you're at it, check out our so awesome merch store, So Nerdware. So Nerdware is the place to find all your Welcome to the Party merch and other amazing stuff too. Head on over to sonerdware.com and use the code WELCOME at checkout to get 10% off your next purchase. So Nerdware. It's what the nerds wear. Devin Rue, the amazing mistress of maps, has kindly supported the channel since the beginning and provides graphics for many of our streams. Head on over to rueinc.com to check out some of the best fantasy cartography on the web. Our Patreon supports the creators and producers of the channel by providing Roll20 subscriptions, cost coverage for video hosting, and more. If you want to support the channel while getting podcasts a week early, gaming articles that are published on Patreon first, a shout out during our break, and more, head on over to patreon.com/welcomepartyrpg and throw us a buck or $5. And last, but certainly not least, help out the party. Subs and bits not only support the stream, but also every 500 bits or a tier 1 sub gives a player or DM of your choice a reroll or system equivalent, and every 1000 bits or tier 2 sub gives a player or DM of your choice a crit or system equivalent. Thanks again for hanging out with us today. The game will be back in just a few minutes.
Let's all go to the lobby. Let's all go to the lobby. Let's all go to the lobby to get ourselves a treat.
Delicious things to eat.
The popcorn can't be beat. The sparkling drinks are just dandy, the chocolate bars and the candy. So let's all go to the lobby to get ourselves a treat. Let's all go to the lobby to get ourselves a treat.
we are back, and here's the question. Hey, other people around the table, someone say something so I can see if my audio output is working. Son of a gun, it is not working. So one moment, please. Yeah, it's kind of the worst.
Hi.
Because OBS is the worst, but now they can hear you, and please take this microphone
Can
out of
you
my
hear us though?
Yeah, they can hear you now.
Okay, good. Hello, everybody. Welcome back to Side Quest with Lady Blackbird, this lovely crew. They have just successfully broken out of jail on an Imperial cruiser, done some pretty badass damage to said cruiser, completely short-circuiting its engines. Got back to their ship, taken down double digits of Imperial guards, gotten some oranges, and have flown out of the ship and are now kind of free to do what they would like. So if there's anything anybody would like to chat about with their characters, do, refresh scenes, etc. Floor is yours.
Kale's gonna get out of the engineering and head up to the bridge deck, and well, you'll be happy to know the engine is running. It's not on fire this time.
Glad to hear you've learned how to do your job properly. Did you see the awesome piloting?
I felt the awesome piloting.
Yeah, it feels cool, doesn't it?
That wrench was painful.
No, Kale. Snargle, as I pick myself up off the floor. Snargle did do a fine job of defying physics and getting us out of a tight situation.
Yeah, I did.
So,
I think... Oh,
go ahead.
Go ahead. No, go ahead.
So, if you'll excuse me, I should go check on Naomi. I'm just gonna find the gun turret ladder, like Millennium Falcon.
Oh yeah,
2.
she's like slams, I think, onto the deck, like having dropped down through the hatch. Oh, Captain.
And I raise up my hand for a high five.
Bam. Good to see you're in one piece.
Good to see you too, Naomi. Excellent shooting out there, if I do say so myself. And I kind of like lean in a little close and get a little more candid, and it's just, thank you for your continued patience with the rest of the crew.
Well, you know me. It takes a while to warm up, but Vance is a hot shot. Seen that type before. Trying to fill in those big boots with a lot of attitude. But I gotta say there's something to back it up, at least.
She is, if you forgive a small pun, shockingly capable. But, as ever, thank you, my friend. I could not make it through this without you.
Well, after everything that we've been through together, everything you've done for me, it's sort of the least I can do.
Say nothing of it. The Empire has done you a terrible unkindness, and what my humble visage can, impart upon your troubled life is it's but a pittance. So, Naomi, and I'm gonna head out to because I imagine, because like you said, like we're in sort of like this pseudo space sky stuff. There's like an open, like a ship's deck essentially, like outside the bridge. And Natasha's just kind of like walk out that way and just kind of like lean onto one of the rails and stare into the middle distance of the sky and just sort of enjoy the view.
You're in the kind of like the top aether that is flyable with a breathable atmosphere. You can see below where kind of like the mist and other lower depths kind of start to form. I can't really see much below that, but you're all well above that. It's really pretty nice, like shifting blue skies.
I go out there and look very dramatic.
Mm-hmm. Wind through your hair.
Oh, yeah. Snargle.
Yeah.
Kale, how are we for fuel?
I got a barrel.
Yes, I have to still attach it to the fuel line.
And how far will that get us?
If it's the proper fuel, hopefully, then it might get us to most of the way to our destination.
But we'll need to stop.
I would suggest we still stop.
I'll speak
know-
with the lady.
I know Nightport is not exactly the place we both want to be, Captain. The last time we were there was not exactly, what's the word? Wholesome.
Well, it was wholesome. It was full of some holes.
Yeah.
Yes.
Cut to flashback, screaming, gunfire, holes through a wall.
Exactly. It's just what happens. Like immediate, like smash cut flashback to yes.
And you just have Kale being stoic and being upset and just going.
And Snargle in dragon form. Like.
Yep.
Yeah, it was exciting, but yeah, don't want to subject the lady to that. I'll go see what she wants to do next. Thank you.
Must we truly ask for her opinion on this?
She is our employer.
Oh, you're right.
Bless Kale.
Tug, 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 tug to get you to lean down.
Yes, Snargle.
I think the captain has a crush.
You remember the last time this happened, right?
Yeah.
I'm
Smash cut
not-
to the same scene.
Jesus Christ! Yes.
That's so perfect and true.
Oh my god. Yeah, same
Don't-
exact scene, same place, same holes, and there's just Cyrus.
And Kale's
Booking
just
it, just booking it out of the city.
We gotta go. We gotta go.
I'm gonna pretend I didn't hear that.
Hear what?
Just turn and walk away. As I walk by Naomi, are you in the same spot or have you followed the lady?
I think she's like sort of like gathering herself in the hallway, like letting lady have her moment.
Good work.
Thanks. You got a pretty competent crew here.
Yeah. They're my family. We look out for each other.
It's impressive.
Yeah. Will you be staying with the lady once she finds her way to wherever she's going?
I hadn't thought about it. It's been so long. We've been working together. It's kind of hard not to imagine being away from her.
Understandable. Well, know that should you want it, there'll always be a place for you on the owl.
It's mighty neighborly of you. You don't have a reason to trust me.
No, but I didn't have a reason to trust them either when they joined. We were all wayward souls once. And the Imperial can suck my dick. And just keeps walking.
She like looks Vance up and down and like walks down the hall to herself. The Imperial can suck.
And Kale's gonna lean over to Snargle. I can see what's happening. I'm so glad you got that reference with one line.
I hate you so much, Jackie.
A trio is down to 2.
In the words of the great Timon, it starts.
Thank you. I love everyone here. I'm so glad you all caught that reference.
The
in
lion's
night.
head appears in the constellations. Sky squid comes flying through.
Whoa.
now that we completely lost the plot. Oh no! All right.
What's plot?
Yeah, who needs a plot? Cyrus is gonna come and lean on the rail backwards next to Lady Natasha.
Captain?
So, we are running low on fuel, even though we got some. What are your plans?
For fuel? Oh, well, I'm afraid I don't really have much on me.
No,
She turns to face Cyrus with this shit-eating grin on her face.
like, are we taking you to your lover? The Pirate King?
And she turns back to the railing. The ultimate goal, I suppose.
If that's what you want.
No. Pirate King Uriah Flint is a useful ally. He can protect me from Father's legions and plans. So.
You have other allies, you know.
Really now, these days, who's going to take in some wild, storm-blooded young thing like myself when any of a number of other nobles will do to raise status or acquire more levy stone?
Oh, maybe someone who's not interested in status and can give a shit what they think.
If you're proposing some kind of alternative here for me, Captain, I'll admit I'm interested. I don't really look forward to the idea of changing one arranged marriage for one pit trap of one, protective though the cage may be.
Do you like this, Pirate King? Because if you do, if you love him, then I say, go your own way.
I feel as though there's a but on the end of that sentence.
But if you want something else, if you're looking for, I don't know, adventure, camaraderie,
Exploding airships and the employ of the Imperium.
yeah, escape into the wild unknown,
I'd take like a
possibly
step a
find a
little
place
bit
for you here.
forward. Perhaps dashing chases through the streets of Nightport and cunning escapes through the rampant tempests of the Northlands.
Ah, I see. That my fame has preceded me.
Infamy, more like.
Fame, infamy, whatever.
My father does not much care for sky pirates, what can I say?
And I see you don't much care for your father, so seems we could have an accord. I might be the last place he'd look.
Well, it was certainly the last place I thought to look.
Hmm.
I'll consider your offer, Captain, but for now I think it best, perhaps, if I continue somewhere a bit. I like look back through like I imagine like there's the glass into the bridge or something. I glance back over at like where Naomi was. My safety is a matter of certain concern, so
That's fair. And then I think Captain Vance will just reach out, grab her elbow, but think about it.
and like reflexively, Natasha kind of like looks down at her arm and like back up and just kind of blushes a little bit of just like, whoa, people don't touch me. What the fuck are you doing? Captain. And proceeds back inside the ship.
I see you. I'm not looking at you.
I'm lost.
People
Sorry.
laughing at me.
Oh.
I think Snargle will turn to Kale and say,
Hey, Kale, take the wheel for a second.
and is going to run down and follow Naomi, assuming that Kale will, because that's how Snargle
Yeah,
works.
Kale will. Mhm.
and is going to run down and knock on Naomi's door wherever she's wound up and just go,
Naomi! Naomi!
She's like commandeered a stateroom or something.
Yeah.
She looks up. It's open.
Oh!
and Snargle's just going to then open it and come in and go,
Hey, I have questions for you.
She's like been stretching out and like nursing her, like redressing her bandage. Sure. Yeah, we gotta. Who's flying this thing?
Kale. He's not very good, but it doesn't matter. I'll be back up there in a second.
Delegation. Nice. Sure. What'd you have in mind?
Does your arm hurt?
I've had worse.
I can help.
and Snargle's just going to, wherever you're sitting, find something slightly higher to sit on top of and help, and be surprisingly good, actually, at rewrapping the wound.
Oh, thanks. I couldn't get the angle there.
I know.
Were you a surgeon?
No. Kind of
You
the
just-
opposite, actually.
I guess that would give you a better understanding of anatomy.
Who?
I have
I
detailed
say
don't
when
know
you're
files.
older.
anatomy.
When you're older.
This is the first time that she's like smiled and it doesn't look like it hurts. And she looks at Snargle. You know, you're quite an interesting character, aren't you?
You are too.
Just a
How come you
bodyguard.
didn't punch those guards into nothingness?
And she kind of looks down at her boots, and leans back, and she says, I wanted to.
So why didn't you?
Well, Snargle, I guess I don't know you guys. I don't know you very well at all. Captain knows me,
Which captain?
and sorry, the lady knows me.
Biblically?
Not as well as I'd like. No,
You might want to take some action on that, because I think Cyrus is about to make her move too. Just so you know.
it's always one thing after another with her. Well, no, I'm used to working under a very specific set of circumstances, and I'm sure you don't have good feelings for the Empire yourself.
They pay us sometimes. That's fine.
I'd sooner take another knife to the arm or worse than take their coin.
But it's shiny.
Yeah, I think that's
then
the
how come-
problem.
How come you didn't punch them into death and stuff?
I didn't know what you'd do. They put me in the pits. That's how I'm as good as I am at what I do. I had to
You're very
learn
good at what you
really
do.
fast how to make a move, get the other guy before he gets you.
Yeah. I know how that goes.
And, well, Tasha helped me out. Got me out of there.
Aww. So now do you like totally love her and stuff because she helped you out this one time?
You know, I was going to say it's more complicated than that, but I don't know. Sometimes the simplest answer is the best one.
Does she know?
It'd never work out.
Why not?
Because, and she looks really frustrated. because Snargle, I'm a monster, and she's not.
Let
All
me
I
tell
do
you-
is kill.
Well, I'm a goblin, in case you hadn't noticed. Sometimes it takes people a little while to pick up on that. And you mentioned you'd been in the pit, so you've been hit in the head a couple times, so I just want to make sure that's really clear.
She looks at you like, yeah, maybe that wasn't the right choice of words. I did see you do this whole... What is that a normal thing?
For goblins, yeah, we can all do it, pretty much. But the more important thing is, from one monster to another, you know, some people kind of like it a little freaky, if you know what I'm saying.
She raises an eyebrow. You know, that's interesting. Could you... I don't think this bandage is quite tight enough. Would you mind?
Would I mind? Not at all.
I ship it.
Me too. Someone likes it a lot.
I feel like we have to cut there.
Fade to black.
And fade.
That was not where I was expecting that to go, but okay.
So good though.
So good. So good.
Excellent. All right, Kale, on top of the ship. What are you doing? Just kinda
Complaining every 5 seconds.
Valid. So valid.
I would come in and I would want to come in and talk to Kale.
Oh.
I'd come in, put my hand on Kale's shoulder. Hey,
Yes, Captain.
I know we don't always agree, but I appreciate you.
Thank you. I appreciate you too.
You've always
I
been there
mean,
for me. You've got
yeah.
my back.
I try to, except for that one time in Olympia.
Well, that's because I was an idiot.
Well, yes, and also I was technically tied up, so that was difficult.
Tomato, tomato.
I just worry, Captain, about this mission.
She'll sit down next to him. Lay it on me.
Well, Captain, this is just a mission, right?
In what way do you ask, Kale?
I'm just asking. We were paid to deliver Lady Blackbird to the ever so illustrious Pirate King.
Yes.
I hope you didn't grow attached to her, Captain.
You hear singing from down the hallway.
Okay, I got attached. And?
Look, Captain, I'm not against whatever choice you make. I've been with you since the beginning. I'll be with you till the end. But I must remind you that we also have a mission, and I don't want you to get hurt.
What if we change the mission?
I'm fine with that. But I just want you to also know that if we change the mission, there's a good chance we'll probably be hunted down by everyone.
Aren't we already?
Okay, fair.
And I'm just saying, Naomi and let's say Natasha, if we can talk them into joining us, would be useful allies.
Well, I can certainly say something for Naomi.
You didn't see what she did, Kale.
No, but it
I've
must
never
have been...
seen anyone work magic like that.
Well, there went that. That was the answer I was looking for. Are you sure you're not that attached?
No.
Are you sure it's not her magic that's bewitched you?
I don't think lightning magic can bewitch someone, but maybe.
And there's some lights involved. They could work.
Friend, sometimes you make no sense.
It comes with the job.
You need to check me over and make sure I haven't been like bewitched by magic or something. Are you worried?
Yes, I am.
You
Because
know I
most
like a pretty face.
I know, which
And
is
you know
why
I
I'm
like
worried.
a smart wit more than that, and capability.
I know
He's got it in spades.
Yes, that reminds me of our last run through Calcium 2.
Don't remind me. And I think this one might work out better. So anyway.
Well, I don't know. This, at least the other 3, I was only I only feared getting shot at. Now I worry about getting electrocuted.
Only if it's fun.
For who?
Me. Always fun for me. And she'll stand up, pat you on the shoulder, and just walk away.
So good.
Amazing.
That was so good.
All right. Does anyone else have any combos, anything they want to do in this little? All right. I'll say that works as a refresh for everybody. So dice pools refresh back to 7, etc. And you are flying safely through the aether. You can't really see the cruiser anymore. It's significantly behind you, but you can imagine that it is having it's not having a good day. And you have your ship that does not have enough fuel to make it all the way to the Pirate King, but you have a barrel of fuel, and there is Nightport as well between you and there, should you be interested in.
Where do we have fuel to make it to? Just
You have-
Nightport?
Yeah, you could probably get like a little bit beyond Nightport, but then you'd be stuck.
Okay.
So,
And we're heading toward Haven, correct?
you are actually heading toward the Remnant.
The Remnant, okay.
Yeah, Haven's kind of where the cruiser picked you up.
Oh, okay.
Right about there. Yeah.
Okay.
Like I would at some point like suggest like we can stop at Nightport, and then I am more than capable of posing as some manner of free trader that could then go about. Surely I could secure us a reputable source of fuel to keep the owl flying.
If that is your wish, my lady.
Oh, come on, Arkham. Like, you don't want a chance to stretch your legs.
He's very thinly. He's just very thin, and he's just like kind of just shakes his leg. My legs are very well loosened. Thank you.
Oh, Naomi,
You know-
do be kind.
I don't know what I expected.
He grows on you. I promise.
Like
hope
Snargle?
not.
Time.
The powder for that?
Naomi. Well, but if and then my light falls over. But then if you have, just don't worry about that. Unless anyone else has a better plan or a better idea. Certainly, I'm not. And I look very pointedly at the captain. I'm not in charge here, after all.
Yes, but you are paying the way, and we're going to where you tell us to go, my lady. So, if fuel is what we need, then we should head to Nightport.
To Nightport, then.
Unless we find someone on the way we could rob. But probably
That sounds
Nightport.
like a better plan.
Nightport it is.
I would appreciate it, thank you.
Why are you so interested in going to Nightport?
Your ship needs fuel. I would think that would be Like A to B
Yes,
to C.
but you do realize that we are like smugglers and sky pirates, and you do realize you're going to marry the pirate king. Why are you so worried about?
Because there's a key word there in that sentence, a certain part of his appellation. You see, king. Kings sit around on their ass and spend a lot of money. They're very powerful, but very boring and very safe. So,
Oh, you have not met. Oh, I thought you'd met Uriah.
yes, a number of functions.
Sitting is not exactly what I would call what he does.
I can more than handle myself. Thank you very much, Captain. I did not ask for your opinion on the matter, and as your employer, I would implore you to do what I employ you to do.
Oh, yes, of course. I'm so sorry, my lady. Excuse me.
All right, then, you are dismissed.
As soon as Cyrus turns around, it's the biggest eye roll ever. To Kale, like, I'm gonna
set
walk.
course, Snargle.
I'm gonna
Okay.
walk up to Kale, lean down. Any of the Pirate King's ship nearby?
Cheeky fucker.
Well, now that you mention it.
Very quietly, mind you.
No, yeah, Natasha doesn't hear us. No.
Let's see. There should be one nearby. Might be.
Is there
in
one nearby?
Nightport.
Oh, great GM.
Sure.
Snargle.
Good
Yeah.
God.
Snargle is practically yelling in response to everything you
Yeah.
say.
Let's go this way.
Why?
Straight to Nightport.
That's not the way to Nightport.
Yep, it is.
Snargle's
Just
going
do
to-
it.
And I'm gonna just look at Snargle with that look that I give.
Okay, this is the way to Nightport, I
Yep.
guess.
And Snargle steers the ship towards the pirate ship.
Excellent. Wow, fantasy name generator for pirate ships sure is a trip.
I bet.
I bet it's fun.
Mhm.
Or not.
Wow.
A pirate's life for nope.
The Ebon Hawk.
Oh God, it hurts. It hurts.
Ow.
I believe you
Oh.
mean the moldy crow. Yeah, nobody gets that one.
Alright.
Right? No, I tried. It's from a video game. I'm sorry. It's still Star Wars. Don't hate me.
Moldy.
Oh, I missed you here. I didn't
I
hear
misheard
it.
what you said.
The moldy crow
I said
from
that.
Oh.
yeah.
I said Ebon Hawk
Oh.
first, and then
Oh.
I said Moldy Crow. Yeah.
Oh.
Oh, now my heart hurts more.
Shoutouts to Kyle Katarn. Anyway,
Excellent. So yes, there is because this is Nightport, shady freaking area, that probably any direction you point the ship in is gonna land you either at Nightport or toward a pirate ship of some flavor.
Just
The
looking for a
one
specific pirate ship of flavor.
you
kind.
looking for specifically Uriah's? Is that
Uh,
what's happening, or what ship are you looking for?
I think what Cyrus is looking for is one that is not Uriah's specifically, but one that has information on him on
Or
it.
perhaps part of his fleet, if he's a pirate
Yeah.
king.
Mm.
His flotilla, I guess. I don't know.
'Cause I don't think she wants to go toe to toe with him right now. If she doesn't have to, but she could. Could be fun.
Mhm.
I don't know. Snargle
Okay.
and Kale, what do you think?
Well, Snargle just. Well, I'm sorry. Kale just wants to get the mission done and over with.
We could just go for his ship. Could be fun. We could either drop her off or just attack it. Could be fun.
We can make more things blow up.
Yep.
God damn, I love Cyrus Vance.
Snargle will go for whatever the most direct and chaotic option is.
Let's go for Uriah's ship. Why not?
All right.
Sweet Christmas.
If we die, we die. It's a one shot.
You only get one shot.
I'm not
Do
thrown
not miss
away.
a chance to botch.
So Uriah's ship is called the Eternal Dusk, and
That is.
it flies around. It does not have a set course. That's generally dangerous for pirate kings to be known where you are. But so you are hoping that the ship you run into is his, and as you come up, not alongside it, it just comes into view, pinged on radar and all of that. You see that it is flying this like royal purple skull and crossbones flag of Uriah's fleet, and that the skull has a crown on
Isn't
it,
it just the one ship?
that you can see right now. Yeah. You see
that
one
you can
ship.
see right now.
You see one ship and you know it is Uriah's. You do not know if there's anything around that he might have or anything the ship might be able to deploy.
Cyrus.
But you do find his ship.
So, my lady. Your husband awaits.
I'm sorry? Then I'll like go over to like a window or whatever and look outside.
I think Naomi like comes around a corridor, like she's been clearly running, and she like grabs onto a handhold and says, "My lady, I believe we've been had. Something's wrong with the course."
It seems we've taken a bit of a shortcut. I
You
recognize
wanted me
that
to
flag.
take you to Uriah.
And clearly you have, well ahead of schedule, and not as I had.
Ship is
Inconvenient.
it's not as big as the cruiser was, but it is still much bigger than yours.
Oh, he wasn't supposed to be home. Okay, well. Yes! It's like to herself at the window, she's very like, "Argh," but then she turns around, it's a big smile. Let's go say hi to the hubby.
Are you sure this is what you want?
Kale has like the calm. Is like, can I at least mention we're here now?
I would highly recommend, Kale, that you say something before
No,
he
I would wait.
blows you out
for
of
a
the
moment.
sky. He's not a
As
patient
you
man.
wish, Captain.
Or an underarmed man, and we are an unidentified vessel, dangerously close to where he can shoot us.
Yes, but
Cyrus.
my lady,
See like some guns start to come out.
Okay,
on the ship.
that's-
They're not
Yes,
firing yet, but you can
let
see
us know. Let His Royal Highness,
I should really talk to him.
under the asshole, know that we're here.
Useful asshole.
Picks up the comm. This is the owl to the eternal dusk. Oh my gods. For his ever so illustrious pirate king Uriah Flint, we are here to fulfill a delivery. And no, it is not spices. And no, we don't have oranges.
Thank you for not making me sound like cargo. I appreciate that.
Cyrus is going to. Oh, go ahead. Sorry.
Oh no, you go ahead.
Is going to step as close to Lady Blackbird as possible, grab both of her hands, and say, "It doesn't have to be like this. You don't have to sell yourself to another jailer."
And she snatches her hands back out from Cyrus and says, I already have.
Why?
Because he affords me protection.
For what?
I mean, she's not wrong.
There's a reason that the Imperials don't screw with him. Oh, thank you for the raid, Dice Priori.
Thanks for the raid. Woo!
Thanks for the raid. Woo!
If you're just joining us, we're being Sky Pirates.
And we're also about to have fields in about 20 seconds.
Yeah, you turned us at a hell of a moment. But it doesn't matter. What I care about, or what I want, or what I'm trying to do, doesn't matter at this point, because he is going to want what he paid for. So
He paid for you?
it's complicated, all right?
Okay.
I wouldn't expect you to understand.
Wait a second.
Wait.
The fuck
How
is going
much?
on here?
What I Just say they're not being cargo, Kale.
You are not a slave.
No, I'm fully aware of that, but I am also a person of considerable standing and position, and my personage has value. And I have leveraged it. It's like buying a house. Except it's me.
So, Cyrus.
Snog-
Maybe we can also make money and also get what we want.
You hear
What?
crackling over the comm. Kale, is that you? Do you have any apples this time?
Oh, Christ.
Is that
Yeah,
you,
we've got a-
Jim?
We've got a barrel in the bottom. Just tell them we've got the fucking apples. Jesus.
Yes, Jim. We have apples.
Fucking finally! We've been looking for those for months. Hey, Captain, they got apples! And you just like hear this conversation go off the rails on the other side of the comm.
Cyrus, what if, hear me out, what if we quote unquote have the lady as a quote unquote hostage?
What?
Hold on.
I hate this plan already.
Holding on.
I'm holding on. I'm listening. I'm waiting.
I mean, we did already rescue you from jail once.
Right.
Escape from the same jail with me. That's a different thing, Snargle.
But we can also make money and you can also not be jailed.
No,
Again.
Okay. No. You don't understand. All right. Cyrus, listen. Your ship is lovely. Your crew, delightful. I'm gonna bottom line this for you. Can you simultaneously evade and put down the entirety of the Stormlord's legions once he comes looking for me, his only daughter, the only person that he can fob off on Count whatever the hell his name was, and the Pirate King's flotilla, now that he is going to feel just a teensy bit swindled that I didn't come through on my part of the bargain?
I
Can
can
you do
outplay
that?
anything, so yeah.
I trust Snargle.
I wish I had your confidence, Snargle. Kale, I wouldn't trust you as far as I can throw you.
The feeling is mutual.
I guess the decision is up to you. Would you rather live a life of trapped misery to one stupid man, your father, or the asshole Pirate King? Or would you live a life of freedom where you can make your own decisions, whatever they may be?
For the first time, Lady Blackbird looks a little panicked, and she looks over at Naomi with a look on her face that says, "Help me."
Naomi isn't paying attention. She takes a step forward and she says, "You're out of line, Vance."
Snuggle is going to reach up and go, Naomi, this might be your chance. And just like headbutt her.
He looks down at Snargle like,
It was a fuck, not a promise. Go get her.
all right.
Whoa! Snargle!
Also, A, winks at Snurgle. And then
She
Tail will
turns.
high five Snargle.
She turns to the lady. Where do I go at the end of this, Tosh? You just walk out. I stay with you forever. You go off and you have your life on the run.
I look over at where Kale was on the radio, phone, communicator, whatever.
Wireless, yeah.
Yeah, on the wireless, yeah. Give me that. Give me that.
All right.
What was the name of the
My
ship again?
wireless.
The Eternal Dust.
Eternal Dusk.
terrible name.
Gods. I thought I
Almost
needed
cut
ships
myself on that
badly.
edge.
Gods.
To the crew of the Eternal Dusk, this is Lady Blackbird. Hello. I regret to inform your liege that his bride has been somewhat delayed and will not be making her scheduled arrival, as she has other plans for her life.
Snargle,
I wish you all the best.
Snargle.
get us out of here right now.
And, kisses. Click.
Get us out of here right the
Snargle.
fuck now.
We should
Oh,
really go
no.
really quickly.
Just,
We should
like,
really go quickly.
Slam the throttle.
Guns that were coming out before are now in full force. You
Oh,
hear
boy.
out of some kind of shipboard loudspeaker from, I can't believe I named it the Eternal Dust, coming out of like this. Natasha, you've spoken to him, so you recognize Uriah's voice coming out, booming of, Natasha, we had a deal, and the ship starts firing at you. What do
Kale's
you
gonna
all
head
do?
to engineering at this point. He's
Okay.
gonna run into engineering.
Vance is gonna run up to the gun.
She doesn't get a chance because I grab her by the shoulder and plant a kiss on her. Just, mwah, and then go, you better be worth it. And stride up out like onto the open part of the deck.
Okay.
Right, okay,
Vance?
run to the gun. Shit.
Okay. As we've Kalen engineering, Vance at the gun, Lady Blackbird looking very dramatic on the deck at the moment.
Mm-hmm.
Snargle, I assume, at the wheel.
Oh yeah.
And Naomi, where are you?
I think she goes with Lady Blackbird.
Okay. So, you're on the
Also,
deck.
that's the buy off on my key of the mission.
Excellent. Yes, it is.
So,
I feel like my key of hidden longing is now bought off as well.
Yes.
That's not really hidden.
I know we didn't really buy off key of the mission for me either because I didn't give up the mission.
Yeah, so I'd say the key of hidden longing is definitely bought off because that is not hidden anymore at all.
no.
The Natasha's key of keeping up that mission is also gone. Anyone
Sweet.
else before we jump into whatever this is going to be have any keys they're buying off, cashing in, etc.?
Depending on how that scene went, I was fully prepared to sever my relationship with the lady. But here we are. So
Yep, here we are.
no, I'm fine.
Excellent.
What is
All right, so I
hail
have two
of
advances.
lead? Just so I don't.
Hail of
I don't
lead?
know hail of lead.
As
What
in,
is
like-
hail of
Yeah, I
lead?
think,
You bang, 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 bang.
Oh,
Yeah.
I'm taking that.
Yeah.
Yes.
yeah.
You shoot the gun many times.
Many
You
times.
shoot the gun
I
many
shoot
a
the gun
time.
many times.
Lucian from League of Legends.
Okay, so I got
his
two
ultimate ability.
advances. So that is
Mhm.
okay.
I
So
bought some stuff as well.
Okay,
I
cool.
did too.
Yeah, I'm picking a couple things.
Beautiful.
Okay, so
Oh, by the way, Snargle, I would say your key of the Daredevil went off when you blasted out of the ship,
Awesome. I like
for
that.
sure.
Mm.
As well as key of the banter for the it was a fuck, not a promise.
So good. Oh my.
Holy shit, Ulfric. Oh. mm.
That was beautiful. All right, so the ship is actively firing at you. What is everybody doing to try and deal with this situation?
Evasive maneuvers.
All right,
Yep.
give me a pilot roll for that, Snargle.
So I've got daring. Would steady also count in terms of like steady nerves, or is that?
Yeah,
Okay.
I'd say so.
I've got maneuvering, evasion, tricky flying. I'm gonna say all 6 of those count, unless folks have a different idea. Sweet.
I think that all fits.
Mhm.
Okay.
Two,
Yep,
three,
four.
Four successes in that. 4 successes
Yep.
in that. Absolutely. You you do the skyship equivalent of slamming on the accelerator, and just you had been kind of like cozying up side to this, and then you bolt off. What does that look like?
It's kind of like what's that terrible movie? American Graffiti, when they're at the stoplight and just the one car just like and just absolute smoke leaves the other one behind. And Snargle is at the wheel, just like totally giving the pirates the finger in the rearview mirror. So.
Absolutely. Cyrus and Kale, what do you guys?
Okay. Well, I'm so I bought out of my advances. I got enhancements and ship weapons. So
Nice.
so we're gonna push hard on the mechanic here, and we're going to engines efficiency and enhancements for the engines. So basically, he's like now hooking up the barrel that Snargle brought in, and is just going to jury rig and try to get this propulsion system, push it to the T, because we need to get out of here.
Yep. All right.
And so we're gonna. So that's let me see. That was 1, 2, 3, 4. So we're gonna. So that's 5 total. I'll spend 2 of my dice pool so I can make it a 7 dice pool, and 4 successes.
Nice. Easy enough. So, what does that look like for you?
So it's still him screaming as steam is being blasted into his face. It's just like ow, ow,
Buddy.
and he and then he like hooks up the barrel and is like, well, let's hope this is the right one. And he just like hooks up several lines to it, and he pulls a lever. It starts pulling the fuel line peeling the fuel through, and he's like, oh, this is not the right fuel. This is worse. This is actually the better one. And he goes over to the 2 players like, Snargle, you're gonna need to brace yourself.
Snargle, as the ship, I assume, just like accelerates even faster, kind of slamming everyone back. It's just like R2-D2 coming out of the swamp, a Dagobah scream coming out of their
Yep.
Yep. And as soon as it zooms, there's a toolbox that just comes right down and just hits Kale on the head. It's like, ow.
So good. Cyrus is gonna try to take out their guns.
All right.
Yeah. I can only use 1 trait, right? When I roll.
You
Like
can
one-
as many as hit the situation.
Oh, okay. So I can
trait, yes.
Trait, yes.
tags,
One trait,
multiple,
tags.
yeah.
multiple
multiple
tags.
tags. Okay. So I'm gonna use warrior. I'm gonna use battle hardened, shooting, and hail of lead.
Okay.
That's 4, and then I'm gonna add 4 from my pool. Yeah. So I'm gonna roll 8.
All right. Nice.
That is 4.
4 successes. You do shoot out their guns. You are fully energized from that kiss, and are using that energy, harnessing that energy as you are shooting out their guns in whatever fashion you would like.
I think she just like takes it, and this is what she does. This is where she started, and she just goes in, hones in on one, takes it out, moves to the next one. It's just like surgical. Boom, 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 in a row, down the line as we're just flying off at speed.
Yep, you see little explosions from the ship as you are knocking out their guns in succession. And then on the actual deck of the ship, Naomi and Natasha.
So, as I'm like walking out there, I kind of like I pull off like the little hat I've been wearing as part of my disguise, and I unpin my hair and let it kind of like flutter out into the wind behind me, and sort of step up onto come like right up to the edge of the railing and kind of like look out back at the other ship behind us, and kind of turn to Naomi and go, Stormblood, right? Here goes everything. And I walk backwards slowly to the prow of the ship and kind of lightly step up and back onto basically where the front of the ship is. I step backwards up onto the railing. Mm-hmm. So I'm like balanced up there on it with my heels kind of like dug into that railing there. and like I close my eyes and I bring both of my arms up, and the clouds begin to gather around the back of our ship and around kind of the front of the other pirate ship. And I'm going to try to use my sorcery to gather a storm in front of them.
Sure.
So,
like between you and them,
yeah,
try to like
to basically,
okay.
just create a
Storm
massive
this.
storm. Yeah,
Or storm it up.
basically. So, one for rolling, Master Sorcerer, Spellcaster, Lightning, Stormblood, then possibly Channeling and Wind.
Yeah, I mean, yeah, you're trying to channel the weather and
Yeah.
create a storm that's got wind in it. Yeah, I'd say all of those.
All right. Add one for my pool for luck. So it's 8 dice. Hi-ya.
Yeah.
There we go. 5 successes.
Nice. Epic storm
Nice.
brewing above you. This is clear blue. They have slightly clouds, but like mostly clear blue, normal sky, and suddenly you start to summon your storm.
And like as she's like kind of clawing like that, she like opens her eyes, and again as the lightning sort of starts to arc around, it flashes in her eyes at the same time, and her heels begin to lift away a little bit from the railing that she's standing upon, because I can also fly now. And she
Very cool.
she floats very lightly down towards the deck as this massive storm kind of comes in, and it's like clearly the strain starts to kind of like take its toll on her. She kind of smirks for a second, and then as soon as like the clouds turn black and like lightning starts like striking the side of their ship, she collapses. Boom.
Yep. There is now, Snargle, if you look behind you, there is now this like pitch black lightning and thunder crackling and booming storm. You cannot see the other ship anymore. It is completely obscured by this storm.
Aw, just like home.
And Vance, you've shot out their guns, so even if they could see you, they couldn't hit you. And Kale, the ship is going very, very, very fast
Yep.
right now. And Simon, you are Simon. You're playing Naomi. You see what do you do as Lady Blackbird collapses?
Oh, Naomi runs right back to her and immediately like checks her pulse, makes sure she's good. She's seen it happen before, so she's trying to like quickly do some diagnostics and then like any necessary first aid to keep her safe, while still looking back at the eternal dusk to make sure that like if there are people, if they're coming around for another broadside, are they deploying boarders? Is the storm going to cause problems for everyone? So she's sort of like with one half of her brain is dedicated to keeping Natasha up, and the other half is like sit rep.
Got it. You do see as you're looking out through trying to get an eye on the storm, you see that they're kind of like smaller ships, like functionally like the boarding rowboat kind of situation, is trying to get through the storm, and they're just getting blown all over the place. One makes its way through somehow, like impossibly, but is called back before it can get anywhere near you.
Cool.
Yep. And so as this ship is zooming through the aether,
Notably low on fuel too.
yes, notably low on fuel. And what would you having thwarted the Pirate King, who is presumably not really happy with you at the moment, what would you all like to do with this new situation?
Do we have a place that we would go to lay low?
I mean, Nightport's right there.
Yeah, Nightport is right there. It's not, I mean, it's kind of a place that everybody goes to lay low.
Yeah. Like,
So-
I don't know. Do we have a safe house that we've established? Do we have anything like that?
Do you?
You're the GM. Are we
I-
allowed?
I'm saying,
But
yeah,
you
you're
are the
allowed
player.
to.
But you are the
have
player.
But you're the
agency.
player.
I feel like
You have
Captain
agency in this.
Cyrus
How do you
Vance.
feel your ship
Cyrus
would have as a
would,
crew?
especially
Yeah.
as an ex-soldier, would have
Okay.
safe houses in places
Okay.
established.
Absolutely. Then, yeah. I would say you are, especially with this fuel being high efficiency, you're probably still gonna run out of fuel before you can maybe get to necessarily any of them. So that's still going to be an issue. But absolutely, you've got a safe house or two. I'd say probably even in the area, you would need to figure out a way to push yourself to get there on your current fuel load, though.
Okay. Where is this goblin planet, Snargle? How close is it?
Little ways past Nightport in that like collection of black dots that is on the map that the audience can't see.
Okay. Kale,
Yes.
the captain's gonna swing down from that. Look over at Naomi. Is the lady okay?
I'm unconscious,
She'll make it.
but breathing and evenly.
You can put her in my place, in my room. I won't go in there. She's safe.
Carries her off.
Yes.
Snargle,
Yeah.
let's go home.
Yeah. You can
Kale.
all meet my family. They're awesome.
Let's turn off all systems that are unnecessary. Do you think we can get there on the fuel we have?
I believe we can, Captain. I'll make it work.
And I know some of the space thermals near there. We'll make it.
Okay.
Maybe you can coast there because it's like on a lower altitude or something. So even though we're dropping, it's like, oh, we're technically getting closer.
Yeah.
I mean, I hope none of you all get motion sick, but as long as you don't, we can make it.
Well, I think the lady does, but it seems she's passed out, so we might be okay.
That works all right then. Yay!
I'll need to secure the tools.
Yeah, they keep hitting you in the head. That's a dumb plan.
Well, it was a haphazard attempt.
What's haphazard?
This
You
crew.
gave
Like
me
when you
the
make a
wrong
hazard on
fuel.
purpose?
No.
Oh. Okay.
Uh,
Hang on to your stomachs.
Snargle is going to turn and steer so that we're facing towards the goblin planet of Grur.
What do we need to do to make sure that we can get there?
I'll probably have to make a engines and efficiency check with
Yep.
enhancements.
Is there any kind of like navigation stuff or?
There's I know Snargle has some navigation stuff.
Mhm.
And I
where
can help with that
is
too. Yeah.
Yeah, so yeah.
Girathek? Is it in the lower depths, kind of like below in the corrosive atmosphere, or is it still above?
Oh, let's say yeah, it's below, and that's why goblins are so hardy and have so many weird
Yeah.
things.
Hell yeah.
So the
Mhm.
planet is actually you would also probably have to roll some atmospherics in that navigation roll too. So
3 successes on my engine, on my mechanics.
okay.
And I will help Snargle with navigation. I have that
Okay.
skill, so I can help with that, and I'll give you an extra.
Yeah.
Okay.
So I'm gonna say
Excellent.
pilot, steady, tricky flying, navigation, atmospherics.
Yep.
So that's 5. Plus I'm gonna. You know what? Fuck it.
And then you
I
have my help.
I kind of want to throw in like my entire dice pool and just see what happens.
Why not?
See how plus the extra one from Cyrus. Let's just see what
Have
happens.
at.
With that.
Why not?
13d6.
13. Why not?
13d6.
YOLO.
Watch it all be terrible.
Well,
1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. 8 successes.
Successes.
I'm pretty
So,
At
new.
this point, I will pull the secret of the lucky break and say you can keep your dice pool when you succeed.
Oh, clever.
Well done.
Oh.
Well done.
Nice.
Well
Nice.
done.
Excellent. So
Well
all of this
done.
works amazingly. Kale or Snargle, if there's any like flavor you want to add to this working perfectly, go for it.
I say we probably have like the voice tube open, and so every time Snargle needs a boost somewhere, I can give the short momentary boost to the engines to help make it easier to navigate, and and that way, and then turn off the, and then that way, and if we need to coast when we hit the atmospherics, I can turn off the power just enough just to conserve our energy just long enough.
I'm picturing those like gliders that that went really Kiwi. I'm picturing those gliders that take off from mountains and fly like 30 miles just on unpowered craft that just fly off the winds, something kind of like that.
Absolutely.
And just so there's a lot of like corkscrewing up where there's a proper thermal, and then taking off at the right angle from there. So it's a little bit roundabout, a little bit tumbly, but
it's probably a good thing Natasha's or Lady Blackbird is passed out and can't experience some of that. Yeah. You dive into the atmospherics and suddenly like everything is just a little bit foggy. Anybody who's out on deck would need to grab some breathing equipment to help with that, but good masks easily available around. And ship, you do find the Goblin Planet. I would say at this point, probably the Lady Blackbird you would kind of come to.
Yeah.
And yes.
If Naomi's there, I just kind of like, with my eyes still closed, just, you're cute when you worry about me.
Sure you meant that for somebody else.
Old friend. I say only precisely what I mean to. Where are we?
Some whatever this crew calls home.
That's what we call home now too, I suppose. Sorry
Guess we're
about
gonna
that.
have to. Well, it is what it is. Let's go make some memories, shall we?
Indeed.
And as the camera fades out on this heroic crew, is there anything anyone else would like to describe what they're doing as you kind of land down on the Goblin Planet, free from your Imperial prison, but perhaps having pissed off the Pirate King in the process?
Snargle is going to run down the ramp head first and just go, "Mom! Mom! Where are you? Mom!"
Into a city street.
And this gnarled goblin warrior comes out of this house near Portside. And Snargle is just going to run up to her and like give her a great big hug and say, "Hey, Mom! 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 Do you want to go to war again?"
Yes. And she just gets this really big grin on her face.
I
Kale's
have the
groans.
absolute best way to end this. I'm just telling you this now.
Okay. Naomi or Natasha?
Kale's just
or
gonna
Kale?
Kale's gonna get out and just start assessing the engines, and just go. It's gonna be another week. Repairs again.
Naomi's like walking along. I think she's like walking backwards down the deck, facing Natasha. She throws her hands up. We're sky pirates now, right?
That would seem to be the case.
Always did like to break the rules.
Never had much
Better
use for
look
them
the
myself.
part. She rips the sleeves off of her jacket, so she's got like a vest. She looks around. She scoops up a cutlass, like straps it onto her belt, and then like as she's walking along, I think like probably Cyrus has some like personal armaments.
You're welcome to him.
She's like walking around. Oh, I wasn't asking.
Yeah, but you're welcome to him anyway.
She's walking along and like sees like a gun rack or something, and she finds like a steampunk
Besides
shotgun. She's like, "You're coming with me," and she
So
slings
good.
it across her back and strides down the deck.
So good.
That shirt costs 37 shembles. Well, it was ruined for a
So
good
much
reason.
Better now.
Well, Captain, Cyrus, this is a terrifying mess you've got me into. Now I'm hunted not by one but two armies, in addition to having pissed off the Imperial Guard itself, implicated in whatever crimes this thing has done, and I appear to be on a planet full of goblins in one of the substrata. So that's going to be a new experience for me.
Come on. You know you love it.
Just don't eat the turnips.
And she'll grab you and lay a big fat kiss on Natasha. Can I call you Natasha?
I don't
I'm
know.
gonna call you Natasha. And just lay another one on you.
Because I was about to steal your hat and say, like, I don't know. First Mate Siri sounds pretty good too.
Huh, that's pretty good.
Then I go in for a kiss.
I wanted it to end. They're all sitting around a table. And Cyrus is like, I've got a plan. First, the Sky Pirates. And then we take out the Imperium. It's like that.
And close to credits.
This was very
Y'all
silly.
So much. That was
Idiots.
delightful. Thank you, chat. Thank you, Dice Prairie, for the raid, and others who've followed, subbed, etc. throughout this. Thank you. I would like everybody to go around, just kind of tell me who you are, if you have any projects or anything you would like to plug, and then one of your favorite moments from tonight. And we will go backward this time and start with Fox.
Okay. Well, I remain Fox Barrett at Fox_Barrett on Twitter, where you can find me jabbering about one of those upcoming projects. I recently posted some promotional stills I took for a little game called Arbiter's Ascent: Second Apex, which I know is a mouthful, but that's because that game is going to be anime as fuck. It'll be starting on May 4th. Over on twitch.tv/devilsluckgaming. I don't have a time for you just yet because we're still shaking out the last of the details on it, but it's going to feature big robots and big ideas and just me in a purple wig. So, which I know I'm already purple, but it's long story. You can also catch me on Tuesday nights, tomorrow night, in fact, on this channel, 8 Eastern time as part of Riff's Blood, Dirt, and Chrome. Kate, I guess we already had our season finale for this season because we're about to do a little side story. Rather than Riffs, I'm actually going to be running a Dungeon World campaign, and I'm going to do some weird stuff to their Riffs characters in Dungeon World. It's going to be a whole thing, and hopefully it'll be, if it's even half as much of a hoot as this nonsense was, be sure to check it out. Come back around to me after you're done. I've got some other channel business to talk about with regards to a lot of things. So
absolutely.
This was a blast, by the way.
Yes,
Thank you.
Yeah.
This was so much fun. Thank you.
Oh,
what
you
was
didn't talk about your
what were
favorite part.
moments.
Oh my god. Y'all. I mean, Snargle having what constitutes an intimate moment with Naomi, Kale's voice, Cyrus forcing my hand. Like, how do I pick? I got to do two cool lightning things and learn how to fly. You know, love gives you wings. It had a big gay ending. That was my favorite moment.
Absolutely. Kate.
Hi, I'm Kate. I go by Mia Midair on the internet, which I'm probably will be back this week because I have some new things coming up that I'll be promoting on Twitter. Finally, I've been gone for a while. I, like Fox, am on Riffs, Blood, Dirt, and Chrome. And I have some new things upcoming that you'll get to check out. So come find me on Twitter and you'll get to hear all about them. And then
you also do a number of like this thing around us?
Oh yeah, I do things. Like I design things, like overlays, like this one. But I always forget I designed this one.
There's a URL for your portfolio?
Yeah, I always forget that too. You
I
can
gotcha.
find me online. Oh, thanks, Jack. You're the best. You can find me online if you want overlays or logos or fun things like that. You can hire me.
Go to meandmidair.design.com.
Jackie's got me. It's over.
No, I know,
in
but
the
like
thing.
in case like on YouTube.
Oh yeah, thanks.
Yes.
meandmidairdesign.com. You're the best. And how do you pick a favorite moment from tonight?
I don't know.
Because
I couldn't.
I can't. They were all so good. Honestly, just everyone's characters were so great. It's funny when you get pre-gen characters, you never know what's going to happen, and just everyone really put life into it in their own way. And I can't pick how it was just really fun. It was really fun playing this game with y'all. And Sarah, you were amazing.
Thank you.
And let us get away with a whole bunch of fun stuff, and I
Of
loved it.
course. All right, Jackie.
Hi, everybody. I'm Jackie, better known as Death by Mage on the internet. You can find me all the time on Twitter because that's pretty much where I live, and among other places, but mostly living on Twitter. And also, you can check out the wonderful project of Unbreakable Anthology, which released on Drive-Thru RPG, which is an Asians Own Voices project. So it's written by and illustrated by Asian creators. It is available on Drive-Thru RPG. And we are currently a copper bestseller, so we're on our way to silver, and you can pick up your digital or hardcover copy. And my favorite moment from this game, there was quite a lot. Man, I don't know. Like for me, it was a toss up between like Lady Blackbird literally rolling the godly amount of dice rolls. It was almost all sixes,
Almost all.
and then just having that badass flourish of just like. That's why they call me Lady.
Yes.
Blackbird. That was so good. I loved every single moment with Snargle was probably just like the most golden moment ever. And I love Naomi's Kingsman Slaughterfest
Yo, that
bonanza.
fight though.
Yeah,
So
that
good.
was so good. That was so good. And I just love how Cyrus literally just pulled that play of just like, yeah, we're not going to the night port.
Nah.
That was so good. And thank you, Sarah, for running this game. This was a lot of fun.
You all. And Ulfric.
Hello, I go by Ulfrigs on the internet, and aside from this, at the moment, I'm not up to a whole lot, but you can catch me on Thursdays starting at 6 p.m. Pacific, 9 p.m. Eastern, playing a Dathomiri Night Sister on Hyperdrive, the First Ember, a Star Wars RPG, full of light side, dark side, lesbian angst, and other things. It's amazing. I love it. It's so much fun.
Where's it at? Where can people find it?
Oh, it's not on this channel. It's on New to the Party, which is Welcome to the Party sibling channel, which is all about like giving folks who are new to streaming a chance to do their thing, learn what they're up to, new people producing, new people GMing, new systems in trial. It's a good time, fam. You should check it out. And my favorite moment from tonight, if I'm being selfish, it's getting to turn into a giant fucking dragon. And
So valid.
And if I'm not being
Big
selfish,
dragon energy.
it's any time that Kale got hurt and just went, ow.
Ow.
That was so good.
Oh.
So good.
R.I.P. Alan Rickman.
Yes. And Simon.
Hello, I have been Simon. You can find me on Twitter at Lucha Libris. I'm also on Itch on the same handle, where you can check out some of my tabletop game designs, including a free party RPG based on the musical Cats. If you're looking for something to do during isolation, please go check it out, give it a review. You can find me on Thursdays at Scrydex Academy on 2:30 Eastern. We're playing Blades in the Dark. We also, I am going to be GMing on this channel starting May 6th on Wednesday nights at 8 p.m. a Monster of the Week campaign. It's called Unnatural Disasters. It's sort of like Hellboy meets XCOM. Going to be a lot of hunting cryptids across North America. It's going to be a great time. It's an entirely BIMPOC cast and crew, which I am overjoyed to announce. I will also be on, I believe it's also another entirely BIMPOC crew, starting May 10th at 8 p.m. A game called Erwin on this channel. It's a Genesis system game inspired by Skyward Sword.
Okay. Huh.
So we're like up in the sky and rediscovering a world that was below the clouds that we never knew existed. I'm really excited about that. I am a voice actor. If you want to listen to me not do RPGs and read scripts, I play characters on the Penumbra podcast, which is a queer sci-fi and fantasy audio drama. You can learn more about that on Twitter at the Penumbra Pod or thependulapodcast.com. If you're interested, on Friday night at 8 p.m., I don't know what the channel is, but we're going to be doing a live playthrough with the cast members of a fan game called Thief of Hearts, which is a dating sim in the universe of the podcast. So we got permission from the developers to do it, and we're going to be doing a cast live playthrough as our characters. It's going to be amazing. So check that out if you can.
Will you be, once you know, will that be on your Twitter account? Can we perhaps
that will be on
find
my Twitter, and it'll be on the Penumbra podcast. Yeah,
Perfect.
On the Penumbra Twitter account as well.
I might stay on the Penumbra podcast a lot.
Check it out, please. Last thing I want to say is Magpie Games has recently started a curated play program, which is online. I am one of the 4 GMs that are leading the pilot, and we will be running games for the foreseeable future. These are not streamed games. I misspoke the last few times I plugged this, but they are private games. So it's like playing a game at a con, except you're at your couch or your desk. If you want to play a game of Masks with me or one of other great GMs,
you do.
I still have a few other games available. They are $10. You can learn more about that on the Magpie Games website, magpiegames.com/curated-play. Go check that out. I'd love to have you. And my favorite moment, I'm gonna cop it out. Honestly, the playing with this crew, these players, and Sarah's a GM. I really want to say are like the heavy hitters of the RPG communities that we are parts of. I trust everyone here implicitly to bring a lot of energy to the table, to bring deep, intense characterization, even to a pre-generated character with no context, just to throw themselves into the role, to back everyone else up, to give everyone else a chance to shine, to sort of take the step back and say, no, you get to be cool for a second. And when we all do that, the story is incredible. I'm going to be thinking about this game for years. That's how incredibly fun it was to play with y'all. And honestly, I couldn't think of a better way to send off Fox from her tenure with side quests. So I'm honored to be a part of it.
For sure. And I am Sarah. I am Arclight Phoenix on Twitter. Phoenix has no vowels. If you put vowels in, you will get somebody else. And I am starting May 16th, 14th, whatever that Saturday is. What did I decide? 16th. Yes, May 16th. You can find me here. Welcome to the party, 8 p.m. Saturdays, GMing the Bubblegum Shoe campaign, Waverly Summer 98, where everybody's playing high school kids, and they're going to explore some weirdness in their Midwestern town that is occurring throughout their summer. So I'm real excited about being able to do that. And my favorite moment from tonight was copping out again and saying literally everything. I've wanted to run this game for so long, and I'm so excited to be able to do it. As a GM, I love when failures happen because so much other stuff, interesting stuff can happen. So when Kale rolled no successes on that search for in the cargo bay was just delightful and a gift. But like Simon said, playing with everybody here and just seeing how you all brought it to these pre-gen characters in such wonderful ways, and that was amazing to get to do. And I think also again a great way to kind of send out Fox for 10 years, this amazing place. And with that, I will bounce it back over to her for any final things that she needs to say.
Yeah, so as ever, thank you to our sponsors. Thank you to Welcome to the Party. And yeah, as everyone has alluded to, or pretty much said right here, right now, this will be my final episode of Side Quests. After 2 seasons, I am stepping down as the executive producer around here and handing off the reins to more than capable leadership. As I like to say, this show will survive me, but I will not survive this show. I want to give a massive shout out to my fellow producers who helped me through the second season, because I produced season 1 with some occasional help from other people. I largely produced it on my own, and that's a nightmare. Don't do that. But big ups to for Wyvern's Wing, and of course the ever talented, ever lovely, and ever accommodating Ulfrig. For just thank you so much for getting me back some of my Mondays over the last 3 or 4 months, something like that, since we started this in January. I would also like to thank Throck. Appreciate it, Sean, for giving me a place to do this, to learn how to do OBS, to run this whole thing. Thanks to all of the amazing GMs we've had over these last 2 seasons. I wish I had all of your names in my head right now. I super don't, but hey, that's a good reason to go back and watch all the VODs on YouTube, and check out the amazing display of games. Like, we got stuff I never would have imagined. A game of 10 candles got run on this show at one point. Like,
I was on that.
Yeah, like it was wild. There was more thirsty sword lesbians and less D&D, and that was always my hope with side quests. Is I wanted to try to get through as many people in the community as I could, and I wanted to showcase stuff that you don't see a lot, stuff like Lady Blackbird, which this was tremendous. I could not think of a better big silly gay ending to end for my big silly show. And so yeah, enough of being sappy. I'll just leave it there, and thank you everyone so much. Couldn't have asked for a better crew to see the show off, but again, it will survive me. It will still be here on Monday nights, and Ulfrig, I believe y'all were talking about moving it to 9 o'clock Eastern time.
Yeah, moving it forward half an hour, because this is very late for you East Coast folks.
It's
and I'm very grateful that folks stay up to play.
Pretty brutal for some of our East Coasters, for sure. So we're trying to make, I don't know what they're trying to do. You know what? The mantle of leadership. I'm going to take the matrix of leadership out of my Optimus Prime stomach, hand it over to you, Ulfrig. I couldn't ask for a better person, you and Jago, to be in charge of this thing. And I wish you all the luck with it. That is precisely the attitude to have, and that is precisely the attitude to note this on. So this is the last time I'll ever say this, so good night, farewell, auf Wiedersehen, and stay safe out there.
Bye.